Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Bourbon Neophyte. Today, I am lucky enough to have found one of my favorite distilleries' bottles. Although I didn't find it, my wife actually had found it for me because I recently found out they are no longer going to distribute here in the state of Nevada. And so I was kind of disappointed when I heard that because I knew something was up because I wasn't seeing any of the newer releases or anything like that just popping up on the shelves like I normally see. So my wife happened to be on a little vacation. And so I asked her to do a little hunting for me while she was down there. And lo and behold, she found something that I was really interested in. And some of you know, some of you may not know, but I particularly have an affection for Bardstown. And one of them in particular is the Fusion series and or the Discovery series. Well, she happened to find me the Fusion 7 while she was away. And so this was delivered to me last night. And I thought, well, let's do a review on this thing because I haven't had a new Fusion series for quite some time. So, that being said, I went and poured some of this. I mean, I didn't sip it. Well, that's not true. I had probably a few sips of it to kind of try to get a little bit of an understanding about it. So when I put in my comments about the Fusion series and what I got, they were some of my first raw impressions of this whiskey. So I poured some in a Glen, and it's been in here for 10 minutes, and I didn't touch it, just letting it open up and sit. And so then I thought to myself too, is let me compare it with another Fusion series, which is the last one I have, which happened to be 5. So I poured some of that in a glass and I have that sitting here. So after I have a few sips of this 7 on the Fusion, I will go to the 5 and see how that is. Even though the 5 has been sitting a little longer, I just want to see because I don't have the 6 to compare it to because we couldn't find that because I was really looking for the 6 and 7. But, you take what you can get. But right now, let's see who all is here in chat because I've seen a few people pop in already. Hey, Paul, cheers, man. Long time no see. Jack, what's up? Nice to see you floating around here. Marty, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. Brian, Slapshot, cheers, man. Thanks for popping in there. Hey, John, what's up, man? I haven't seen you since probably yesterday. That's for sure. Hey, James, what's going on? I saw you earlier. Oh my God, what stream was I watching earlier? See what happens? Anyway, I seen you had popped on, but I was in the middle of getting some stuff going on. Hey, Bourbon, what is up? He is talking about my hat, by the way. That is for sure. I knew exactly, so that's why I started to chuckle a little bit there. He, he's the one that got me stuck with this thing, and I just noticed. Let me fix that. There we go. It's a little out of kilter there. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. All right. Here we are. Yeah, it was looking. Yeah, it's still looking kind of lopsided there to me, but we'll be okay. All right. But like I said, Bardstown's one of my favorite expressions that I like. That I just kind of liked what they were doing with their Fusion series and their Discovery series, and so I've been collecting them for a little over a year and a half now, and a little disappointed when I found out they're not going to be distributed here. But I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Discovery series or the Fusion series, and I'm going to read a little bit to you on the Fusion 7. So this is from the Bardstown site, and so for those of you that don't know, the Fusion series is a blending of newer and older bourbons. What they're doing is trying to create something unique, which I think they do. The blend, though, sometimes for me that they put in this whiskey, I haven't been a fan of, and I'll give you an example, particularly the Discovery 5, because of the Kentucky juice they used in that one, which was primarily Dickel, left that minerality that I just wasn't pleased with at all. However, I went back to it 6 months later after I shoved it way to the back of the shelf, and I was pleasantly surprised to find that minerality had died down enough in that Discovery 5 that it was actually palatable to me. And I actually have been back for a couple of pours since that revisit a few months back. So great on that. I mean, I'm happy for that. Inside this fusion, there is some younger spirits of Bardstown's. And let me just see here real quick. Yeah. So 54% of this blend in the Fusion 7 is a 3-year, consisting of, let me get my eyes on this. As a matter of fact, let me make it bigger. There we go. 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. So that's 54% of that bottle. There's another 10% that consists of some more 3-year-old Bardstown distillate, which is 60% corn and 40% rye. So I'm expecting this, and I did get some on the initial sips of some decent spice on it, rye spiced, which I do have an affection for. 6% of this is also a Bardstown distillate, 3 years, consisting of 60% corn, 26% rye, 10% wheat, 4% malted barley. Now, here's what I call the kicker. There's 20% Kentucky, which for the most part, I would say is more than likely some Dickel, which I do not know, but I will check on the sip. I was getting something on there and I'm just not 100% sure, so it's opening up in the glass. So the first 20% Kentucky is a 12-year, consisting of 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley. The last is 10% Kentucky, 12-year, consisting of 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. So I am looking for that nice, sweet type of bread note that I get from single malt scotches. So I'm expecting to pick some of that up on this bottle. Now, no guarantee because everything's different, but I'm a little worried that 30% of this juice is Kentucky juice, and I don't have it on any good authority, and it's just me, but I haven't had many sips out of it, is I'm hoping that it's not some of that Dickel juice they had sourced and bought through the years and have sitting there. So in the description, whenever I put up the thumbnail, and I did have, like I said, I had maybe 2 or 3 sips just to kind of see what it was like. And so you can go back and you can see the notes that are on there. And what I said, I wasn't sure of exactly what it was or how it was as far as the taste, because I just wasn't sure. But this is from the website. It says an exquisite contrast of vibrant nectarine with toasted almond and honey lead to cedar and rich toffee with light tannin on the palate. Elegant finish showcases the delightful balance between youthful and aged Kentucky bourbon. Sorry, I misspoke too, because I was looking at something else and I kept saying Kentucky and I kept saying Dickel juice. Dickel juice is Tennessee. So scratch all that. I made an error there only because I was looking at the Disco 5. And that was on my mind earlier. And then I went and I still got Dickel juice on my mind. However, let me go back and say, I did get some minerality on that. But knowing what I know and just coming to my senses, let's say, yeah, it's not going to be Dickel juice. It's all Kentucky from somewhere else. So, whew, I'm good. And now that I've had that revelation, it sits in at 98.1 is the proof. Retails for $64.99 is what it's going for on there. So I haven't, like I said, I had a few sips. I poured this 20 minutes ago, sitting in the glass, have a Glen cap on it. There's the color. It's pretty nice. I swirled it a little bit ago, and I was kind of watching the legs just before the stream on it. And the legs don't develop quickly, but they seem to cling nicely to the Glen and just slowly start to come down the sides of the Glen. So I'm expecting a little viscosity on it. Let's see what we get on the nose. Ooh. All right. I am getting some of the fruit. I wouldn't know about nectarine, but definitely fruit, definitely sweetness. I'll give them the honey with, and I said nut in my original description, but they're saying almonds. So I did get some type of a nut, but I am not exactly going to say almond because I haven't tasted it. That's their wording, but I will give you a nut note on that. Little still got a little ethanol on it, but it wasn't like when I originally poured it and I got a nice whiff of it and I didn't even have my nose to the glass. And I haven't, it says toffee on there, but I think I put a caramel type of a thing. So toffee, I wasn't sure. I was on the fence. I'm still going to lean with the caramel. But who knows? Until I really sip it, but I'm still going to lean towards the caramel. Still smells nice. Let's try the palate here. Wow. That's pretty good. Thinner than I was expecting, but let me try the second sip here in a minute. A little thinner than I was expecting. I thought it'd be a little more viscous. The spice that I'm getting is more towards the back of the palate, center of the tongue, forward. Usually when it's a rye, it grabs the sides of my tongue. So that being said, I do like the spice. The finish so far is nice. Let's get that nose here and then a second sip. Okay. On the fruit, I'll give it some type of a citrus, more on mild orangey versus, well, more to me. I can't say quite orangey. That's the wrong one, but it is a fruity nose on it. Let's put that way. It's fruity, and I am getting some almond on this now that I've had another sip out of it from the original little ones that I had in the very beginning before I put the Glen cap on it. I got to get a little more here. There's a few things in there that are eluding me, but I definitely get the spice from the rye. I definitely get fruit, sweetness out of the honey. I will give that. There is a nuttiness to it. I'm also going to say, I think some of the younger whiskey that's in there is shining through on this. I'm getting, and they say they call it the tannins on there, and I'm getting that. I am definitely getting that on the palate, without a doubt. Mm. Let me just say, once I get this thing past the shoulder, I will come back and revisit it. It's young, not as sweet as I was expecting, but I do get the honey. I do get the fruity note on there, and you search a little bit, you're going to get that. And I will give them an almond now, because in retrospect and thinking about it, it definitely isn't peanut. It is not peanut, but it is a nut. So I'm going to go more with an almond. I might even say walnut, but it's definitely a nut along that lines there. That's for sure. Let me look at this one more time. $50, $60. So 70% of this is 3-year juice. 70% of this is 3-year juice. So it's got that younger, the tannins, the aftertaste on there, that lemony, that bite to it. But overall, I don't think it's bad. I think it just needs a little more time to open up and sit in another glass. But I also have the 5 poured, and that's the next thing I have to really go against it, just to see what it was, let's just say last year, roughly. A little mineral water to clear the palate there real quick. Now, definitely sweeter on the nose on the 5 versus the 7. But like I said, that was a fresh crack. I mean, just as fresh as can be, just before the stream. Still getting the sweetness on the nose of like a honey. And what was funny on that 7? I wasn't getting that sweetbread note, because it had a good malted barley percentage in there between the different whiskeys that were in there, but I really wasn't picking that up on the nose. Hold on. Let me highlight this so I can read it better. Sugar Kitty. Almond with nuts is usually very clear. It's cane chemicals. Some sherries will bring that note to it. I would get peanuts with wild turkey or old granddad. Walnuts from Heaven Hill. Yeah, I will concede there. But like I said, walnuts was a little bit of a stretch, but it's just what popped up into my head on there. But yes, the peanut note from wild turkey, yeah, old granddad, that's a definite. Matter of fact, some people even say wet peanuts, as far as that goes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yes, sir. We're going to get to those, Sugar Kitty, here momentarily. That was part of my wife's hunting trip there. And there's a couple more things back there. Let me just move my head aside. There you go. But, hmm. Yep. 5 is a little more palate pleasing right now, but it has been open and it is well below the shoulder on the bottle. So it's had time. The legs are beautiful on this 5. Although the 7 to me has just a tad bit more flavor and spice than the 5, but yeah, the the sweetness of the 5 with better spice, better all over spice on the 5 than the 7. But which one would I pick over it right now? It would definitely be the 5 if I was going to go back and have some more, only because I know it's really had some time to open up in the bottle. The 7 just needs a little more time. I still have some in the glass, and so I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave that sit a little while longer. Sip on this 5 here a little bit, and let me pop up into chat, and then I'm going to get into talking about some of the stuff that's behind me, and then I'll give you a final thought on the Fusion 7 on there. But there's some other people that had popped in. I just want to say cheers to Alex that he popped in. Hope you are feeling better. Mr. Stahl, how are you, sir? Thank you for popping in. Mr. Morgan, I hope everything is cooled down there across the pond for you and that you're getting through this evening. Is that my computer that is freezing and unfreezing? Well, you know what? Let me know if you guys hear me fine, see me fine. But from time to time, and it's been happening for the last couple days, and then earlier today when I was on with Ken's stream, I think Sugar Kitty sent St. Bernard over to me, and I've been having some issues, but I'm watching the stream and I'm watching the feed. It's getting low, but it doesn't stay there long, and it jumps back up, but then it drops down and jumps back up. So if you guys are starting to have some problems, just let me know what's going on here. Oh my gosh, look, Friday at Fred's. Cheers, boys. Thanks for popping in there. Always good to see you guys. Isaiah, cheers, man. Thanks for coming over. That's for sure. Really do appreciate that. Who else has popped in here? I hope I didn't miss anybody. That's for sure. Oh, Z-Man. I knew I saw him. I was like, I thought I saw Z-Man, or I did. Cheers, brother. Thanks for popping on. Oh, look at this. Here it is. Do me a favor. Let's wipe these suckers off the face of the earth. Hold on. You just let me get rid of these things. Gosh, what is going on here? Why isn't this working? Well, you know what? You guys may have done it for me already. That is always a possibility. Let's see. Here we go. Boom. Get rid of that. Let me get rid of this one. Give me a second. Let me block this one. And nope, it's being obstinate. Let's see what happens. Nope, keeps telling me an error occurred. Let me go back down here, and if I have to, and they keep popping up, we'll just go in and next time and change it to subscriber only. So yeah, damn bots are in there. Nothing you can do about that. They are. Okay, you're getting that too? Okay. See, I'm showing everything streaming full, Eric, right now on my end. Because I've got one eye on it, but I apologize. This is something that's just out of my control from time to time here. An error occurred because it was taken care of. Perfect. Perfect. That hat is messing up the stream. Probably. I may have to give you that one today. I'm gonna have to reshape this thing. I catch it from time to time here. Yeah, I don't like the way the crease is, but that happens with both spoke hats from time to time. That's what happens. But let's finish sipping on this 5. Yeah, I like the 5, but like I said, I'm partial to it only because it's been sitting a while. So behind me, I think you guys can see there's some new additions, and particularly one in particular that I was looking for a while has been this Alberta Premium, because it's just not out here where I am. Sorry, the glare is going to be awful, but let me get it a little closer. Let's just see what we can do. Here we go. It's the Alberta Premium, the cast strength. Let me bring it up. Come on, focus. There we go. 63.7 ABV. And limited edition. And I've been actually waiting for one of these. And like I said, on her journeys and on her hunt, she was able to come up with a few things there. And I'm happy for it. And I just realized something. Let me fix this real quick, because for some reason it didn't pop up and I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. Oh, that thing is pretty darn dark. Hold on, I'll get to that here, because I just noticed something didn't pop up like it should. Let me hit that. Let me go right to here and pin that. Bam, there we go. Sorry, I thought it pinned earlier, but I guess it did not, but we'll take care of that. Yeah. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to open this up so you guys can get a look at it. And I haven't actually cracked it yet, but I am going to do it probably Wednesday, since it is Scotch Day in the US. But this thing was darker than I anticipated it would be for a Scotch. Let me get a little closer so you all can just revel in this sucker. I mean, that is some dark juice. Honestly, that is some dark juice in this thing. So I'm kind of excited to get into this and crack this thing and see how it is. Like I said, I got to see what my schedule's like on Wednesday, and there's a lot of people that are on Wednesdays. And so we'll have to see what's what and how things go over here. Hold on. Speaking of Scotch.
Hey, what's up,
dude? I'm just sitting here having a few drams and showing some of the things that my wife picked up for me on her trip, which she goes hunting. Just a good sipper.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that one, but man, that Balvenie 15, that's yes.
Yeah.
I love that bottle. Yeah, the American, I haven't actually bought that one. It's gotten some mixed reviews.
Let me just say, it's not going to wow you or knock your socks off or anything like that. It is a good everyday sipper. Well, you can see the difference in that compared to the Balvenie. This is much lighter. I mean,
I think that's almost all bourbon, which actually makes the color pretty dark there, I think, for what it is.
Yeah.
So they actually, I think, use some pretty good bourbon barrels there. Like I said, I've heard mixed reviews, so I never picked one up.
Yeah, it's either going to like it or you're not. I mean, no one said it was actually, horrid or anything like that. So I just said, what the heck? It's not something that I find here. I'm looking for the Week of Peat. I had her on a hunt for that. I had her on a hunt for the Lafroy Cardises.
Oh, the new cartridges? Yeah, that's probably not going to be out for a little bit. So.
Oh, it's out, but it's just not out where we were.
Okay. I mean, I'm surprised to see it's out in the States yet, I guess is what I'm saying. I know it's out in a few places, but it's probably not going to hit the U.S. shores too much.
So pick this up.
I don't know what that is.
The only decent one in there for $39.
Well, at $39, you can't really complain if it's
exactly
good.
Yeah, and so I grabbed a hold of it and said, "What the heck?" The other one that I was looking for, but I wanted the Founders, but I'll settle for this. Is Chattanooga Cast Strength 111.
I keep meaning to pick one of those up, but it's just, it's always like, well, I already have 4 bottles in the cart.
$45. What the hell?
Oh, exactly. Just the problem is I always have like 5 other bottles in the cart, and I'm like, I'm going to save
Exactly.
that bottle for later. That's where I'll
Exactly.
save the $5.
Exactly.
Or the $40. Hey, Eric.
Greetings, all.
So I missed a little bit of your rundown on the Bardstown. I caught like little bits and pieces. I was trying to do a few things here. Where did you land on like the overall quality you thought of those bottles?
The 7, I'm still on the fence. I'm letting it open up a little bit more. Definitely the younger notes on that are shining through. What did I say it was? 50, 60. 70% of that juice is 3-year.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay. You
Hey,
got
James
7.
Morgan.
Yeah, this is actually the only bottle of bourbon I've ever been given by a distillery. So this one I did get free. And believe it or not, it didn't make it taste better.
No. I mean,
Made the
one
price
thing
point
I'll
better.
say is it's not horrible. I just think it needs a chance to open up. It has some nice fruit. It has some nice sweetness to it. It's got some nice spice.
I don't know if it's going to help, man.
It's $70. It's not swill. It definitely needs to just open up a bit. But the younger juice in it, that note does shine through on the finish so far. But I'm not disappointed. I'm not. In other words, I expected it just because of the age.
And then you compared it to the 5, right? You had the
What's
5.
that?
You compared it
I
with
had the 5.
right?
I don't have the 6. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had the 4, and I thought that was a good.
I have the 4
for about. I paid only about $55 for that one when it came out. I think they've raised prices a little bit.
54, $54.99, $55, $56. Yeah.
That sounds about like what I paid. Now, I thought for that price that one was fine, but man, this one at $70, I
agree with you at $70. I think they're pushing the envelope on that with that price, but also
What's up, brother?
At the time it rolled out, I'll give it with inflation and everything. They're raising it up, but
yeah, I don't know.
I would pay more than that for any of the fusions, unless it really turns out to be stellar.
Well, those earlier fusions had a lot more older whiskey and a lot less younger.
Yeah.
That was the problem I had with this bottle was, you get the Discovery series for $130, roughly double the price. And obviously you get older whiskey, which makes sense. But then they do a couple little subtle things. So first off, they proof this down to 49.05 instead of cast strength. They use a cheaper cork on it.
Hey, Anthony, are you still sipping on the Fusion?
Oh yeah,
I got some myself.
Okay, I got a 4 here. I'll pour with you. I haven't bought a Fusion.
Had like a nice bit of like 14-year Barton, I think, in it. That was really good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I have
go ahead,
7, 5, 4, 3, and 2 in the Fusion.
You don't have 1, man. You can't blast off at the end.
Yeah,
I know. I couldn't find 1. Just like I don't have Disco 3.
Yeah, and good memory there, Dustin. Yeah, 13-year Barton Fusion 4.
Yeah, that made that whiskey so good.
Yeah.
This thing is young, and you know what? It doesn't drink like it's 49% in a bad way. It kind of burns.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's the youngness in there is coming out, and
it out hits its proof.
Fun fact for those that were on Ben's stream Friday, my screen name was still Whiskey Richard from Friday.
I was still the entertainment.
What's up, Rob? How we doing, man?
Yeah, but I gotta say, Anthony, I don't think this has changed at all since I opened that bottle, and I opened it right. They sent this to me right when they bottled it because I had a cork failure on one of their premium bottles. And they said, "Oh, well, we'll send you a new cork, and hey, give us your address. We'll send you a bottle too." And I was like, "Well, that's pretty nice of you guys. Appreciate it." I may have dropped to have a YouTube channel that might be reviewing their whiskeys, so it may have been a factor.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't really want to make a review of your whiskey and point out the fact you got some quality control issues with your corks.
But
hey, and Anthony, if you want to pop that chatta, I got one.
Oh, there you go.
Waiting in the wings there. If you
you
decide
got the
to
cast
open.
strength?
Yeah, the 111.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell you what, I wish I had a 15 Balvenie to crack open with you because man, that's a good whiskey. But I have a problem where I can't not kill those really, really quickly, and I have the other problem of they're now $140 locally.
What are you sipping on there, Eric?
I'm sipping on E.H. Taylor.
Oh, okay. Hey, always a good choice.
Small batch or
Small batch.
Single barrel?
Small batch.
Honestly, man, I'll tell you what. For my money, that's the only one of the E.H. Taylors I want to buy. I mean, maybe one of those super rare, crazy ones, but I've never had one of those except one little taste of Amrut of the God.
How is that?
So I think you just saw Jason did like a big lineup where he tasted all of them. So
Right.
I understood why Jason. Well, first off, I had that with Jason, and Jason didn't like it. But I think when you put it in a lineup of all the other E.H. Taylors, it's got a spiciness that's unique to it that makes it jump out. Problem is the spiciness is kind of like almost like a cayenne pepper kind of thing. That's really not a note I want on my bourbon.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So I mean that's a me thing. If you think cayenne pepper with E.H. Taylor sounds good, you might like that thing a lot.
Yeah, I went to a liquor store I hadn't been inside of for 20 or 25 years, and they had one bottle E.H. Taylor for $60, and I know that's 20 over MSRP, but I still felt like 20 over isn't as much as some people are paying for it. So
I like that bottle enough
Mark,
to
cheers.
once a year do that. Once a year I could do that. I usually can get one bottle a year at retail, so I don't do it. But if I couldn't get one for more than a year, I'd probably do 60.
I've never seen one in the wild, so I bought it.
Yeah.
We get them occasionally here. It's easier to get those than it is to get Eagle Rare in Ohio.
Now, so Dustin, do I understand you right? You're saying that that's the small batch is the one that you're most interested in buying?
It's the one I prefer getting just because I think when you look at the price on it and you compare it to this, like to me, I've had very few single barrels that to me were noticeably better.
I kind of feel the same.
So paying double for not noticeably better just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the single barrel I got here is like, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. And the barrel proof is noticeably younger whiskey. So
I got to say, I do like the barrel proof though.
And Buffalo Trace openly admits that it's noticeably younger whiskey. So I will kind of give you guys a little preview, but Mike and I did kind of a barrel proof bourbon video yesterday. We filmed, and we got kind of the unicorns, guys that aren't like ridiculous unicorns. So E.H. Taylor barrel proof was obviously the hardest one to get in that group. We had a Weller full proof, an Elijah Craig barrel proof, a Stag Junior, and then we brought in a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. And that Weller and that E.H. Taylor did not do well for either of us.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say up against a good ECBP. Yeah, it'd be hard.
I don't even think it was a particularly good ECBP. I think it was just whatever the last batch was, the B5 122, I think.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, B522. Yeah, I think it's around here somewhere.
It's a good bottle no matter what.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I kind of was trying to be pseudo blind in the sense that I just grabbed a random Elijah Craig, I grabbed a random Stag. I tried not to make it too obvious. I was trying to pick a winner or loser there. I just kind of had, but those two are ones I have multiple batches of, so I did try to just kind of grab one at random.
So I don't want to sidetrack too much, Anthony, but just real quick since you brought up, what's your favorite Stag if you had to name one?
I'm probably the basic bitch. You say 12, like everybody else.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm at of the ones I've tried. I haven't tried them all, but
I want to say it was either 14 or 15. One of them was really close for me on the right day. It was a little darker chocolate, and man, dark chocolate
15, on that. 15 for me is a real close.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. And then I haven't had the last two or whatever. After I've got a third one out, I haven't had those because they became unicorn tears.
Anyway, back
Mark,
to what you were talking about.
If you have that Fusion 7, did you pour that? Or are you drinking something different? Because I'd like to get your opinion on that 7 also. Like I said, I'm definitely finding it's young. Definitely needs a little more time. Dustin said, he's had his sitting for a while in there, and it tastes the same now as it did 2 months ago.
It may have had this longer than 2 months. It may have been.
Yeah,
3,
I'm just using that as I'm just using that as a number. And he's he's about half on the bottle plus.
Yep. This pour literally took me over half.
Hey, so Jack brings up something that's interesting. Is Bardstown hard for folks to find?
It wasn't for me here until recently. Then I found out through my contacts that Bardstown is no longer going to come into Nevada.
Oh,
Even after that big, they got a huge capital equity investment. I figured they were going to be expanding rapidly. I guess
and they are. I was just at Bardstown. They're building like crazy. So
I think their plan is to be the MGP of Kentucky. I think their plan is to have a bunch of stuff to sell to other people on non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah,
they were doing that before.
Yeah, but I think they've really ramped it up. I think their plan is to really go full bore. I think
they had some agreement with Hirsch where they were bottling for Hirsch.
Yeah, I mean, they've probably doubled, maybe tripled the number of warehouses they have in like a year. I mean, they're building pretty quick.
Interesting. I gotta say, man, and this is me, and it's just based on a couple of these discoveries, but I think the juice they're making right now, it's gonna need some age before there's anything here to.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you.
This 3-year juice and 4-year juice to me isn't cutting it.
Yeah, I mean it's. Sorry, I'll let you finish, Anthony. I'm just.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's this isn't bad. This Fusion 7 right now isn't bad. I'll drink it. I will drink it, and I'm glad it's not an outrageous price. But like we said, at the $65 mark, you're pushing it.
I think it's outrageous at that price point, man. To be honest with you,
that is certainly what hurts it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this should be $35. I mean, I know there's a little bit old. Like this one's got 30% 12-year-old bourbon, so I get it. But 30%, a 12-year-old bourbon these days runs for about $100 if it's sourced and about 50 proof.
And you know what? It depends on where they got that from.
Yeah, and where is it coming from? That 12-year? Do we know?
No.
Is it Bardstown again, or is it?
No. Well, I don't know that because I was looking at my Disco 5 and I misquoted and said it was Dickel. It's not Dickel.
No,
Tennessee, but I had Dickel on my mind because I looked at the Disco 5.
Bardstown's the 78, 10, 12, right?
Let me look here.
Pretty sure that's it.
All right, so if the 4 is Barton, as we discussed earlier, theirs is 74, 18, and 8.
Oh no, so yeah, I'm not sure where this is coming from. So it's a 78, 10, and 12, and it's a 75, 13, and 12.
Could it be Beam, maybe? Or
so I know at one of those mash bills, there's like 2 different distilleries that do it, and they both source some. So it's a little bit like I think one of those could either be Turkey or Beam. So it's one of the 2, and then I think the other one is. There's only a few places putting out 12-year-old bourbon these days. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Either, I mean, but then I think you're paying about the same price for any of these guys, really, except maybe Heaven Hill's is a little more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, when I got this 4, I think it was $55 then, so it's went up $10 in 2 years, something like that.
Yeah, but that one had a lot more old whiskey in it.
Yeah. So this was 40% 13-year.
Yeah, this is 30% 12-year, and there's nothing. Everything else is 3 years in here.
Oh, okay, so this did have some 4-year, 34% 4-year, which is still not amazing. But that's Bardstown.
I will give them credit here that, in fact, this isn't actually a bourbon. I don't think this actually meets bourbon standards because it's got a 60 corn, 40 rye.
Yeah, I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not because I read that off. And
no, you said it still would be because you don't.
No, it's 51. 51 is.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what else it is. Yeah, so that's a very weird.
It's at least 51.
Yeah, I was thinking for some reason you also had to use barley, but no, you don't. You're right.
Nope.
Yeah, no, as long as 51 corn, you can do whatever the heck else you want.
Yeah. I gotta say, so far, I don't know that more rye is helping their bourbon either. Like, I don't know if the rye is really a winner.
So it's getting too hot, huh?
It's just.
I don't think it's hot.
No, it's kind of an earthy grain thing. It's just not.
Yeah. The youngness is overwhelming.
So very grain forward.
That might be a bad word to use, but the more I get into it now and the more I sip it, I'm still getting the sweetness. I'm getting the nuttiness or the almond, but that young note is prevalent in it. So that tart, the tannins, the tartness of that tannin, I described it as a wood note in the comments whenever I posted it
You
because I just
calling a
wasn't
tart,
sure.
Governor?
So there you go.
I will say this.
Sure,
has a
Kitty
few-
has the mash bill breakdowns here for us as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
The cat
Okay.
of knowledge.
the cat of knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. So it's 10% either beam or turkey,
Okay.
and then the other one is Heaven Hill. But I thought that 78, 10, 12 could actually be somebody else as well.
Possibly. A lot of mash bills out there. So
Yeah, well, I mean, especially
But-
with Beam, especially they do a ton of like kind of little one-offs, and who knows if they're selling some of that stuff out the door.
yeah, but it had to be somebody big to be doing 12-year-old stuff. So
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, I think
somebody,
Beam's the
somebody's
big
going to say,
element.
12-year-old, we don't really need it.
Yeah.
Have at it, guys.
The thing is, they can sell those barrels for more than they're selling their bourbons these days. It's like so they can avoid the market hit for like overcharging by just selling the barrels for more than they'd sell the bottles. It's ridiculous.
So, just for fun, I'm comparing this Fusion 4 to Green River, which is, kind of an up-and-coming distillery here.
Hold that up again, Sean.
Which this bottle hasn't really wowed me, but I just want to compare it to this Fusion and just kind of see how I feel about it. Because this is about half the price. It's about 30, and this is about 60, the Fusion. So
It's got a good color on the Green River.
yeah. I mean, it's got a very nice nose. I would say the nose is certainly better than the Fusion.
Hey, Mark, did you have that Fusion poured right now? That's what I didn't know if you heard me earlier.
Green River is really soft. It's very soft on the palate.
Is it low proof or?
It is. It's 90. Of course, I mean, the Fusion's also 90, right?
It's 98. So
So this one's 94.9.
okay.
Yeah, so basically 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mark, I'm sorry. The reason why I asked is I didn't know if you had it in your glass because I wanted to get your opinion on it. I mean, if you've heard myself and Dustin talking about it, I'd like to get somebody else's opinion on it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, but after you're done eating, if you feel like pouring yourself just a couple of tastes of it, would really appreciate what you have to say on that. And I'm sure the other people in chat would too.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say this Green River is going to appeal to folks that are Buffalo Trace fans. It's very soft, very easy. Nothing challenging about it. Nice flavors, but nothing amazing. But it's $30, so.
One thing I've found with the Fusion series is it actually is pretty good with a cube.
Yeah.
So if you want to just pour it in a rocks glass and throw a cube in there, I think that's actually a really nice. I think it kind of hides some of the youth.
I was going to drop a little water into it, and then I realized I don't have any water, so I should probably do something about that.
But yeah, I mean, but I've kind of found that like these younger whiskeys, like some of the Texas stuff, I've not been too impressed with. Some of these, a cube really kind of hides some of the stuff that I'm not liking and brings out what I do like, which is the sweetness. Because these do have a nice sweetness to them.
See, I think a Texas 4 or 5-year-old is an 8-year-old anyplace else because of the lack of climate change.
Oh, I agree, but most of the Texas bourbon's like 2 years.
Yeah, 24, 36 months tops.
Yeah, I mean, so it's hard. I mean, completely different climates, as Eric pointed out. But I mean, when you consider the dark notes that you get on Texas stuff, now, granted, there is still kind of that youthiness there, but I would say at least like there too is at least like an 8 in Kentucky. I mean, because to get the dark notes that you get on a Texas.
Nah. Well, I mean, look, what do you have? Look, that's a better question for you. Is what are you talking about? Because where they are in Texas even matters big time.
Well, I mean, so like this Still Austin here. So we're right on the back. It says aged at least 2 years. Now this is their cast strength, and certainly there's a little bit of more heat than you might expect for the proof point, which kind of is that youthiness coming through.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit ethanol forward, but then and I know Anthony's a fan of it as well. But the dark notes that you get on this, I mean, like really dense, dark brown sugars and chocolate and caramel and like those are notes, and like some mocha in there. There's dark fruits showing up. So those are notes that I generally associate with 8+ at least in Kentucky. That's not something you're going to find real often, honestly, on the market unless you get into a higher age statement.
So I mean, I think there's the two biggest bourbons out of Texas right now that everything most people have probably had is going to be the Balcones.
Yeah. And
then probably the Harbinger, because those are fairly available, and those are very different bourbons than I think what you're describing.
I mean, so and this too, this is another one. So this is just the budget Balcones, the pot still. Yeah. And again,
you know, a dark note on that.
So I get like a mocha coffee note on the finish on this.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm not like other guys. Now, some people don't like the mid palate. That's fine. I get a lot of dark fruits. Joe kind of described it as a pruny note. I don't necessarily perceive it as prune. I get more of a plum. But, I guess we're kind of splitting hairs here because that's the same thing, just at a different point in its life.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Have you had the Harbinger, or is that one you haven't had?
I've not. I've had several of the Garrison brothers. Let's see.
Well, Garrison's way.
Have you had the Balmorea?
Yes, which I love.
That is a good whiskey. Balmorea is a good whiskey. I like.
We're talking $100+ bottles now here. Just
that's the problem with Garrison.
I'm aware
for sure.
I'm aware, but that Balmorea is. I think it's worth it. It's a really good whiskey.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to compare these to like sub-100, like meaningfully sub-$100 Texas whiskey.
And I like Balcones Texas Rye. I don't know if you've ever had their Texas Rye. It's unusual, but it's really tasty.
I actually haven't had their bourbon, but I've had the rye, and it's.
I like their Lineage.
Lineage is incredible.
Cheers, OS.
That's what you need to get, Anthony. Lineage.
Yeah, Lineage is delicious.
To me, it's a replacement for entry-level Scotch at a lower price. It's just like, heck yeah.
Wait a minute. I
mean, I guess to me, like Texas is like the cheat code to getting older age notes at a much younger age. So
same thing with India. Same thing with Taiwan. I mean,
Taiwan.
They're doing the same thing. Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. What's the Taiwan? Begins with a K.
Kavalan's out of Taiwan, and then Amrut's the big name out of India, but there's a couple others.
That Taiwan. I love Taiwan whiskey. It is just delicious.
Kavalan might be the best distillery in the world right now. They legitimately might be the best distillery in the world.
But Anthony, we're kind of taking over your stream here. So let me get back to what you were talking about,
you're all doing fine. I'm listening. Everyone's doing what they're supposed to. I'm looking for something because he mentioned one, and I'm
and we'll ramble for a little while longer.
I think I've seen it. I'm looking through my.
He's ready for some shots.
Shots. Let's get some Little John playing in the background. It's about that time of the night. Yeah.
Hey man.
What's up, Vic?
I don't want to get your stream banned, Anthony, but I am
really, Vic.
Cock.
Swear to God, this freaking guy.
What do you think of that? Let me highlight that for a second.
Chicken cock. The name is a little suspect, but otherwise.
Oh, I love chicken cock.
Well, the big problem with this thing is
I do too. It makes me giggle every time I see it.
Well, the big problem with the
12-year-old boy and you come straight out.
The problem is it's a $100 bottle of whiskey. That's the problem.
I like the regular. I just like the chicken cock.
I mean, isn't it just Beam? Isn't it just sourced from Beam?
I think they source from a few different sources depending on which bottle.
I haven't had that righteous one yet.
Yeah, this one they actually finish in a blonde ale, and like they charge this big premium, and I don't think it worked so well. But I haven't had it in about a year.
Why would you finish in a blonde ale barrel when blonde ale has very light flavors to begin with?
I'm with you.
If you dried it out, it might taste like chicken cock aged in urine.
I mean, you can tell there's like a beer note.
You sold me on it, Eric.
Did I? I just blonde. I love a blonde ale. There's a local place here in town that makes a great blonde, but I wouldn't think about aging a whiskey in it. Whatever I age a whiskey in is going to have more flavors than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they went with this, but I will say it. I do taste the beer. It comes through. It's just boring whiskey, and it's $100. So
I can't remember.
I'm sure Shane would do some Fireball, but
Yeah. Now,
I will
see,
give these guys
I don't
credit,
know.
though.
I don't
The
know
guy
where that.
running
I
knows
don't know
his
where
shit.
I don't know where that particular one is sourced from, Dustin. But I'm not a fan of beam rye. So if it is a beam rye, like I don't know. Like I haven't had.
You don't like Knob Creek Barrel Select Rye, the 115.
So I mean, is that barrel strength? That bottle
that's
you got there?
It's near
Okay.
barrel strength. Oh, the one I've got
Okay.
here, nowhere close to barrel strength. This thing's 45.
Okay, yes, yeah. Beam does pretty well at barrel strength.
Yeah,
at low
agree.
proof,
No,
it's just So yeah, the Knob Creek barrel strength, that's kind of the exception to the rule. But other than that, so the standard Knob Creek rye, I think it finished 5th or 6th in my kind of budget rye battle last year. The Overholts, that's also Beam now, so they're fine for the price, but not great. I don't know, and then just the regular Jim Beam rye is crap.
horrible.
So yeah,
Horrible. Oh my God, that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, Beam really hasn't put out a premium rye outside of that Booker's rye. I mean, like a truly premium rye.
yeah.
At least that I'm aware of.
I've never had a Booker's rye.
Well, very few people have, since it was a one-off and went for $300 retail. People laughed at it, and now it's like a $4,000 bottle.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a unicorn.
Damn.
It's supposed to be one of the best bottles of whiskey ever to come out of Jim Beam, but good luck getting it.
Yeah. Just, sell an arm or something.
Should have
You
bought
don't
it
need.
at 300, huh?
A child, maybe, if you have any spare children around.
I mean, kids cost you money. Why not convert them into whiskey?
That's right. It's
I
liquid assets, right?
I have a background in finance. I can guarantee you that is a sound financial decision.
Press them, mash them.
Probably massively frowned upon, but yes, definitely a wise financial decision.
Again, I cannot make that statement from anything except pure financial decision making.
That's right.
You may need to speak to a lawyer. If you're religious, I would probably avoid any religious leaders because
do not make your children into whiskey.
It may be a problem for you later on in life.
Yeah, I feel like that's a safe bet. Yeah, training your child for whiskey. I'm sure.
Those of us
of
here
how
at Bourbon,
sketchy your priest is.
Yeah, maybe if you're Catholic, you can do it
do
to have
not
confession.
endorse.
Dear Father, I
idea.
have sinned. I sold my child for a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
You like get out. Just get out. Anyway,
Hi, son.
By the way, Sean,
that'll be 600.
Oh yes, package receipt. I don't know if Woods is here, but there it is. Yeah, that is courtesy. I can't take any credit for that. That's all Woods there. So
yeah.
Is that good? I've never had that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like
Charlotte,
it fairly
heavily
well.
peated.
Yeah, those are good.
I haven't had the heavily peated. I've had the.
This was a hand delivery.
Yes,
from still living in the woods to Sean, and then Sean.
Yeah, I dropped it off at Anthony's just yesterday, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
and you got all the way back from Nevada to Kentucky that quick.
I drive very fast. Dude,
I tell you what, I'm shocked. I'm surprised he's still up.
Yeah,
Me too, because I saw him on
you just you get a little nose candy going, and you just.
I saw him the other day, and he wasn't up for much.
Let me tell you, buddy.
That's why we called him Whiskey Richard.
It was a really quick drive.
That's it. Yeah. I have a private jet. I don't tell many people about it, but
that really is the way to go if you're going to travel long distance.
When I open this, it's a wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. So Woods didn't know it, but Woods didn't know it, but that cork leaked on the way to my place, and so when I got it, as soon as I opened the box, I was like, "Man, this smells delicious." So like the little foam thing inside the can was just soaked with whiskey, which is kind of nice. I mean, it's like perfumey.
It was.
But so I like wrap the top with saran wrap really tight, as tight as I could get it. That way, hopefully, no more was lost because it's pretty significant.
Wrap it up.
Which
one is that?
The peated one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
yes.
I may have actually killed my bottle. I bought with Bourbon.
Let me just see here.
Maybe a sign I need to cut back on my drinking.
The 2015
John Cran's Cannonball Run.
Also.
So, Anthony, what kind of tasting notes we got on that? Have you cracked it yet?
I haven't yet. I picked it up because Dustin said I got to get one.
Gotcha.
And I happened to stumble upon it. and so I grabbed it. That's for sure.
It's a beautiful whiskey. It's not super complex, but what it does is does so well. Beautiful, sweet, kind of fruity, like orchard fruit. Glenlivet, peat.
Yeah. There are certainly some super sketchy priests out there. So yeah.
What kind of
I wouldn't
whiskey
say
are
they're
you saving
sketchy.
for? And
You know,
do you have any left? Do they have any what left? Kids or whiskey?
There's a lot of things open.
You're
to
a priest. You
interpretation
need to be
and
clearer
reading.
about that question.
Well, and as Eric
What's
will
up,
tell
Mark?
you,
How we doing, brother?
in any text, there's a lot of room for interpretation.
Yes.
It's true.
So there was a lot of room for interpretation there.
And since we're talking about priests,
Yeah, my bet is they were asking how many more children you got left.
Dan, what's up, man?
hey,
Yeah, they probably weren't that
Northwest
worried about
Bourbon,
it.
cheers.
It's true. They're like, was it a boy or girl?
Oh no.
Oh God, we're gonna go a place nobody wants to
We
go.
got some
We are
some
really
great
gonna get-
channels popping in here. Look at that.
Hey,
That's
cheers,
Liz.
sir.
Hey guys, he may be trying to improve the quality of his choir. He has to know.
They all look the same from behind.
So Dan, since you're here, I'm in the process of making a potential Rat Pack shirt.
I don't think
my
my
face
face needs to be on TV anymore.
I feel like you have
Sorry.
to be part of the
That
Rat
joke
Pack,
had to be made.
given what's happened. So let me know if you want your face on a T-shirt. I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
I was trying to be at least marginally subtle, and then Eric goes, "Let's just make this as graphic as possible."
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the line. Let me jump way over that.
From now on, Eric's going to be Evil Knievel. He found the line. It was the Grand Canyon. He actually jumped the son of a bitch.
I cleared it. I made it.
Yeah.
I actually made it.
I'm like, hell, he didn't die. He survived to tell the story of how far he crossed the line.
Yep.
So,
All right, good enough, Dan.
All right, Anthony, please take us back on track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
No,
please let's talk about whiskey. Yeah.
Give us
it
good
happens.
topics.
It happens,
No, so what I wanted to ask about earlier, Anthony, was the Belvini 15. I know. So when are you plan on popping that one?
You guys keep twisting my arm. It might be in the next minute.
Okay,
Nah,
well,
you ain't got a hair on your
how hard
ass
do we
and
have to
not pop
twist?
it.
I might go look and see if I have one. I don't think I do, but I might just go searching just in case.
No, Mark. The last name there, he cannot be part of the Rat Pack.
You know what? I'm actually going to go just see, just in case if I have one still hanging around that I forgot about.
But that's certainly what it's about. Anyway,
If you pop that, I'll go get that nasty ass Lafroig I have left, and I'll drink that with you guys.
Nasty. What's
It's
wrong with Lafroy?
why would you punish yourself like that?
It is horrible because I want him to give us the tasting notes on a good Scotch.
I think Ben has pretty well covered the Lafroig tasting notes. What was it? Band-Aids and hate, right?
Band-Aid and hate.
Yes. Band-Aids, hate, and sadness.
Oh,
The tears of sadness, the salty tears of sadness.
Yeah, I think the Rat Pack is going to be me, Dan. I got to talk to Vic and see if he wants in on this thing, and then Charles, because we had a pretty good conversation as well. And then if Vic doesn't want in, then we'll maybe see if Ben is an honorary member. I feel like he was certainly kind of hosting the event.
Doesn't one of you guys have to have a glass eye to be part of the Rat Pack? Oh,
There it is.
There it is.
So Anthony, here we go. We're twisting. We're gonna twist.
Here. Where's it at? Here's it at. Here.
That's
Twist,
it.
twist, twist.
Mm-hmm.
I think tonight's the night.
I don't have a problem with it. I like to, do what I call a pre-sip before I actually do a review.
You don't have to review it. You can just kind of do general thoughts,
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, holy smokes, they wrap this thing up nice. Let me just see what happens when you pull on this thing. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So-
easy, nice and easy. Oh, the
Wow,
way we
yeah.
like it. Look at that. Oh, yeah. That's
yeah.
a quality. What is that? That's not Saran wrap. Whatever the
Foil?
Sealy thing. Yeah, foil. That's the word. Thank you.
I've got all the words. I've got all the best words.
Oh,
You going
man,
Trump
that
on me
was
here?
Hey, Donnie.
nice. Oh,
Yeah, I
God.
definitely do not have another 15.
I feel like that's a legit Trump quote.
It is.
It
It
is.
is. He actually said, "I've got all the best words."
Oh, that guy. He's amusing. Anyway.
He's
You know-
amusing. He's amusing in an end of the world kind of way.
I would genuinely love a like nonpartisan like linguist to really kind of like go through his speech patterns and just kind of help.
Oh,
me
there's videos on it.
Yeah, but I want to know the person's not biased.
Okay.
Make that full screen there, Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's,
look at
let's,
that.
I'm
let's
getting there.
let's check
Look
out
at how
this beauty
dark
here.
that is.
Look
Yeah,
at how
that's one of
dark.
those first Phil
Come on, there
Oloroso
you
ones.
Look at how dark that is.
God.
And the rumor on those bottles is a lot of those are actually
That's pretty
closer to-
sexy.
some of those are upwards of 20, 25, 22 years old. So just because it says 15 doesn't mean it is.
No, it doesn't. But 47.8 ABV.
You're right. Says
Cask
no, it's
number
not the night.
4123.
Too
Bottle number 519.
This general
Yes, yes,
thoughts.
yes.
What service is he in?
So I have no problem in
What's the proof? Well, what's the ABV on that? It's no proof.
47.
Okay.
It's like
So
47.6 or something. It's almost 48,
47.8
right?
to be
yeah.
exact.
okay.
47.8.
Approaching 100.
Non-chill filtered.
Well, good, as any good whiskey should be. So
It's a really it's a really good proof for that level of sherry finishing
What
too.
is it? Non-fill
I
children.
definitely can smell the sherry.
Oh yeah, it's non-chill filtered, it's non-colored, it's all the good stuff.
That's what disappointed me because my first Scotch was Monkey Shoulder, and then I found out it had color in it. It's got caramel in it. And I was saddened.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my
unfortunately, I mean, heck, Rare Breed still chill filtered for some stupid ass reason.
Well, you can't
Heck,
make it bland unless you chill filter it too.
I don't know that people think of Rare Breed as bland. It just makes no sense why they bothered.
And
well,
Rare Breed's a little bland. I mean, I like it, but
well,
it'd be a lot better non-chill filtered.
I gotta
Well,
say,
you can
Eric,
buy a non-chill filtered from the UK if you want to try it. I'm hearing not too big a difference in flavor.
yeah, didn't Jason do that the side by side? Yeah.
I think he did it twice even.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got bored and decided to do it on a live, and then he said, I'm just going to film one too,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
I can, because I'm the mashing drum. Ugh.
I mean, let's be fair. Jason is the standard. In my mind, Jason's the standard. So
And here's the more important thing: Jason's the turkey geek of all of the channels, the big
He
channels
is.
for sure.
well, I mean, what I mean by that is, so you pointed out this out before, Dustin, is like he's one of the few big channels that still can, focus on chat, focus on what he's doing, also focus on a guest if he has some. Like Jason covers all the bases that way. He does great lives. He's very active in the community. There's very few big channels that are.
He'd still jump on live with
Yeah, he'll jump on with anybody. Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, Bourbon Junkies, they might hop on with Cheech because he's the guy following them. They might hop on with Livewire or something just because they're kind of of like mind. But they're not hopping on just any channel.
Yeah.
It's Bourbon night. They'll flat out tell people, you're not really our style. We might go on your channel, but you're never coming on ours.
Fair enough. I'm probably not their style, if I have to guess.
Well, the only channel I know for a fact they said that to is a channel a little more raunchy than you.
It's fair.
So in their defense, I don't actually hold that one against them. It was probably a good decision.
Right.
Yeah, I can't see HBR doing a show with them.
I think he would be much more appropriate than the channel I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I never think of like I've rewatched some of HBR stuff because we were in the same time slot for a long time. I just recently changed, but I've never thought of him as being that.
Yes, same.
Yeah, like he's fairly tame. I mean,
no.
usually the worst streams are when I hop on Ben's stream after already doing a stream.
Well, we all know how that works.
Yes.
Kid,
Here's the real
Kids,
question: Should I
learn
hop
from-
on?
learn from my mistakes.
Can
Should I hop on
confirm.
Livewire tonight and just do bottle chugs and finish bottles?
Yeah, I'm going to hop on Livewire, but I'm not doing any chugs. I have to work tomorrow, and I've done it before, and it didn't end well. So
No, the thing is, you have to like get off as soon as you finish your bottle chug. You can't stay on after.
What fun is there in that?
Cheers, brother.
Well,
Dan
that's-
O'B.
anyway,
the next morning when you wake
Anthony,
up,
back to we're sidetracking it. Back to this Balvenie 15. Let's
Yeah.
let's
I'm
hear
just
initial
sitting here
thoughts.
nosing it, and I tell you what, it's got the nice sweet bread note, and definitely sherry, good viscosity, nice legs. I've had 2 sips out of it, and so far it's good. I can only imagine what it's going to be in about 2 weeks when it has a little more chance to really open up in that bottle. But I think it's good. I might have to really give it a whirl on Wednesday if I do the stream for Scotch Day over here.
Oh, there you go.
Pub stream after your own equals so spicy. Indeed. Sure, Kitty.
So somebody asked, Mark Eminecker asked if that raunchy channel recently changed their name.
Oh no, but they're a little bit MIA, and if that doesn't tell you the answer, it's a husband and wife combo. And if you can't get it now, you just don't deserve to know the answer.
Yeah. I mean, but like, they're a lot of fun at the same time.
Oh no,
I
love those two, but I understand why they're not what you want your brand associated with if it's bourbon night.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm not gonna. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Chad and Sarah are very vanilla in their live streams. I think that's.
I mean, they're super white. They can't really help it. You know, I mean, I feel like if Chad were here, I could tell him that to his face, and he'd be like, you know what, I'm pretty super white. It's
They're
okay.
not white; they're opaque.
Well, and the thing is, a lot of what they're doing is, I mean, it's very much they want to keep it to being an advertiser friendly channel, and that's fine.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And guess what?
It works.
That means it's not a channel that I'm gonna watch a lot of videos from.
But it works for them.
So the channel that's MIA, do you talk with them at all?
Yeah.
Like okay, because see, I kind of started after they kind of started dipping off, and so I never really got to interact.
Yeah, they are they're a 40-minute drive from me. I've been
cool.
I've been drinking with them many a times.
Awesome, man. So are they
on barrel picks with them?
Are they coming back soon, kind of in a big way, or?
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
Changes in priorities have kind of are kind of the issue right now.
Yeah. Hey, it happens. Yeah. I get it.
So it's one of those things. We'll see. I definitely would like to see it. Or you know what? I wouldn't mind them to rebrand it and do a little bit more a different kind of a style with it. But we'll see.
Yeah, because the old brand doesn't really work anymore because.
Yeah. Well, the big difference is one of them just dropped to like 8% body fat and is like jacked and tan now.
Well, yeah, and also, like, they both drink bourbon now, so you can't. There's no wine involved.
So, well, at this point, one of them is drinking very, very little. I think is the bigger issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
4 a.m.
bigger
wake up
issue
to
is
work out
this.
is an issue when you want to do a live stream.
That's true. Yeah, that's kind of why I don't work out. Just if anybody was wondering. That's why I don't work out. I would love to. Like, I'm really committed to it. It's just the live streams are killing it.
Well, you know, and sampling whiskey constantly to keep your palate strong, like you really can't work out and do that. I mean, you're really doing a disservice to viewers.
Look at this. We got a new buddy. Have a good time. Find love. Okay. Naked HD XYZ.
Wow.
Where do we find this love at? I'm curious.
You know, isn't there a song about that?
Just like a round? Is it just like a round generally, or?
I mean, isn't there a song about that? Like looking for love in all the wrong places or something?
Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that's kind of the theme of what he's really offering is how to look for love in the absolute wrong places.
So I don't have a wrench, so I can't bot murder, but I'm sure the mods got this.
Yeah.
Murder the bot.
I'm debating if this should be saved for Mike and I to review or if I should just kill it.
Well,
or both.
Yeah,
Hey, Mike,
That'd be a
I
lot
just
to
happen to
kill.
be-
That'd be a heavy chug there. But
this is definitely outside of chugging range, but I mean, you say that, but I think it's lower than you think. So let's see here. All right, so this is a proper, ounce and a half pour, roughly, maybe getting close to 2.
what's the proof point on that?
About 100.
Okay, yeah, all right. So
Which
yeah,
one is that
maybe.
again?
The 103. It's the Murray Hill Club.
Oh yeah.
And so I mean, if you look what's
So
left
spicy.
here.
Super spicy, super spicy.
You look at what's left here. I mean, it's it's probably only about 3 ounces left.
Is there some needling going on that length there, Sugar Kitty? A little bit of needling happening.
Is there even a link? I mean, it just says,
Yeah,
"Have a good time, find love."
let's see. Is there a link? No, there's. Well, of course, it's been.
Well, I guess unless the naked-hd.xyz is a link, but I don't really.
Oh
think
yeah,
that
I guess that is the link. Yeah,
Does .xyz take you somewhere?
Okay, so I have a question. Okay, they're back. There's a new one. New AI will find a girl for you. Look at that. That's amazing. Like there's just girls that AI is finding for you.
You know
This
the
is
best
some-
part of this whole thing is apparently the AI finds the girl, but it doesn't explain to you what you're going to do once you find her. Like you just hit her with a club or something. Like
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, so I feel like I could find girls on my own. That's not the hard part.
Yeah.
generally.
It's finding a girl who will respond back to me when I say something beyond like, "Hey, do you have directions?" or "Hey,
Yeah,
buy you a drink?"
a girl that finds your jokes funny. There's a lot to work out aside from just finding a girl.
I mean,
so-
I can find girls who find me funny, but then I'm like, "Hey, want to hang out sometime?" I don't want to see anybody. Oh, what about his friends? I'm busy doing my hair. Okay.
You can't find that anymore.
Well, I will say this. This is so far first pour. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I would imagine so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, those
I
used
can
to be
let you guys
$100,
just
man.
stammer away while I sit here and contemplate this pour, and I think it's pretty good. I mean, I like the fruit. I like the sweetness. The sherry is good. There's definitely some oak and spice on it.
The spice is really what makes that whiskey on the
Yeah,
end.
it's a nice spice on this thing. And so while you guys, like I said, we're stammering away, I'm reading the bottle just to see what it has to say, to see if it matches with my palate, and that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But
I think
picked
Eric
out on
actually
it, and I never
probably-
read this thing. I mean, I never looked at it only because
Now,
I don't.
is that
I don't
peated
like
at
that.
all? Is
No.
that peated? No
No.
peat. Okay. Well, that makes me
At least
slightly
I'm
less.
not getting any at all. I mean, I'm going to say it's not. And
No,
if it is, it's
I
like-
mean, there could be like a trace amount from something, but no, that is
If-
they
if
could
very,
anything-
very lightly peated, if at all.
basically
Yeah, it's
some of the
nothing.
source barley may have used peated methods at one point in the process, but like it was unintentional. Like
Got
if
it.
there's any
Yeah.
peat notes there.
But I tell you what, it's pretty good. So why'd you guys throw Eric out? I mean, come on.
Actually, Eric said he had to go. He sent a little note to me. He said he's going to go check out naked.hd.xyz
Oh,
because he needs to find a girl for him, and he thinks AI is the solution.
well, what's he looking for?
Yeah.
Wife number 7, something like that.
He said he's got one girl that he thinks might be wife material, but he wants to find out if AI approves. So
Yeah.
he's going to check it out.
Gotcha.
And I think he told me it's only like $6,000 to have this program run, so it's nothing for him.
And also, it's all about the numbers. If you find enough of them, you got to find one that will love you. So
Yeah, it's kind of like if you want to go on a date and you're not an attractive guy, you can ask out 10,000 women, and as long as you're not really unattractive, you'll get one eventually.
yeah, and eventually you'll find one girl that's how can we say this? What's PC? Dumb enough. No, I'm just going to stop myself there before I seriously offend people.
Yeah. Well, now the problem is there are some guys who are so ugly. I hate to tell you guys, just give up. It's
True,
It's
it's
over.
true.
Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to get there.
We'll see you in a
All right,
bit,
Jack. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good
But-
one, man.
Yeah, this Balvenie 15, damn, that's pretty darn good. Really is. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah. You know what your wife paid for that one, or does she keep those numbers from you when they're surprises?
Yeah, I'm curious as well. Although it not being peated makes me less curious, but I'm still kind of curious.
I'd tell you what, if you like bourbon, man, you'll like that stuff. I'm telling you, it's
it's bourbony?
no, but like it's not bourbony, but at the same time, like
the
it's
spice
got,
it has.
it's got
you
this,
know?
this spice and it's got this sweetness that like
And there's
it's
definitely
different from
oakiness.
bourbon, but it's like on the same level as sweet and spicy as bourbon, kind of.
Well,
makes sense.
so Anthony, before I get your thoughts, just want to say what I don't like about super sherry forward scotches. Sometimes there's like this weird, funky sour note that I don't really like. Now maybe that goes away with age. I haven't had a higher aged one, so now go ahead, Anthony. I want to hear what you're getting. So
you don't get that on all sherry, especially in a malt. It doesn't happen on all, whether it be a Scotch or American whiskey, if it's finished in sherry butts or sherry casks, or Irish. Not all of them have that, but I know exactly what you're talking about because it's on the finish towards the end. This what I call bitterness.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A lot of
rears its head, and mostly you will associate that with younger whiskeys, but this is not the case here.
Yeah, I was
And
going to
just
say
like
a lot of
Dustin
distilleries
said,
are hiding.
it's not necessarily
young
just 15. It could be 16, 18, it's just what they're marketing it as, or it's mixed.
Yeah.
No, it's a single barrel.
The
So
youngest
it can't
is
be mixed.
15.
It's a single barrel, so
Yeah.
it's all one or the other. But I've heard a lot of those barrels are 20 plus.
I tell you, the bots are just loving Anthony tonight. Tired of being alone? We can help you. No, you can't. I promise you that you can. I'm not alone, but even if I were, you could not help me.
You know, you can mail me a torque butt or something for free. I'll give it a try.
So my favorite bot message of all time is cheaper than Tinder, which isn't Tinder free? Is Tinder not free? I don't know. I'm not on Tinder, but isn't
Tinder's free? But if you want to improve your chances, you can pay to like either get more swipes or like there's like a super swipe that like tells somebody, no, for real, I really want to bang you.
Oh, okay. Well, so you got to pay for the super.
No. Here's the actual reality of like the way Tinder really works.
Oh my god!
Half the women on there have zero interest in hooking up, and they like the attention. They like to know that they're still seen as pretty.
Yeah, it's like look at all the likes they got or whatever.
Yeah. And then 5% of the guys are having the time of their life on the app. Another 5% of the guys maybe sort of every now and then get a date. The other 90% they don't matter, so they're just throwing money, thinking, "Oh, if I get more swipes, I'll win." No, you won't.
That's not how women work.
Yeah. Now, meanwhile, women will use the super swipe. They'll spend money for that for the really hot guys to see if those guys will maybe give them a chance.
The studs. It's like when you got a horse that's worth $1 million. Yeah,
like the bodybuilder / YouTuber who's like like his YouTube channel is just him taking shirts off and seeing girls' jaws drop. That guy, they're like,
and also pulling in a couple mil a year. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Like he drives a Ferrari. He's got 6-pack abs. He
isn't a total douche.
Probably. Some of those guys are actually even nice guys. It doesn't even matter.
Hung like a walrus, and
Yeah, and as I think was the oldest saying that women are looking for the was like the 5'6" or the 6'6", at least 6 foot, 6-pack, 6 figures, 600 horsepower car. I forget what the rest of them are, but it's like
right, yeah. Who knows what the rest of them are? No one knows.
Oh, I'm sure Tinder does. They got an algorithm.
Anyway, we should probably get off this this horrible conversation. I'm sorry, Anthony. The issue is I have no water down here, so it's just I'm slowly degrading pretty quickly. Let me fix that. I'm going to go get water so I don't
go get some water.
So this doesn't become
mine here.
Yeah, so this doesn't become a Friday night Ben stream. Ben tolerates me, but I want to be civil.
Well, John, just real quick, one thing I would add with the Balvenie because I want to hear the price on this thing. But
hey, it's Chris,
gentlemen. This is the quintessential sherried Scotch in today's market. Like this is the one you want to judge if you like great sherried whiskeys on. This is the one.
Well,
Yeah,
so
I'm,
I heard
I'm
Sean
happy
say
with
that this stream was going downhill, so I thought I'd better come in and join
no,
in because it sounds like
just
my
me,
class.
just me. I'm just me. No, Anthony and Dustin are doing great. Just me. I'm just going downhill because
So John takes me downhill real fast. He says one thing, and I'm like, "Oh, let's keep going." I'm like, "Oh, wait, where we go?"
I will go down a rabbit hole in a second. So anyway, no, I'm gonna get water. But before I do, so Anthony, do you know the price point so I can kind of figure out if this is something I want to?
I think my wife paid $125.
Oh, okay. So it's not
For the
crazy.
15?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, they've gotten to like the 140s of where I see them in
Yeah.
Kentucky, which is kind of where
I've seen them high. I've seen it online as high as almost 200.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, go buy it, no matter what, at 125 or so. And then when it hit 140, I'm like, man, that's starting to feel rough. But then again, I went the other day to go buy some freaking Cheerios, and I went, man, I can't afford Cheerios anymore. I guess I'm going home.
Oh, sure, Kitty. I love you, man. All right, let me go get some water. Seriously.
Yeah, now, Chris, did Sean say it's going downhill or down under? Because
Well, we're going down under because Chris is here. So
We are as far downhill nearly as you can get. The only further downhill you get is Faz in New Zealand, so 60 hertz. So
if we go rolling past you, we're pretty much going to fall off the earth at that point. We're going too fast.
well, that's what you get with a 600 horsepower
the
car.
Belvini is well worth it. I mean, even for your first pour. So I can only imagine what happens with a little time in that bottle as it gets a little oxidation in there. That thing has got to be pretty darn.
It's a dangerous
Pretty darn
whiskey.
tasty.
It's one you could drink all night and just not even realize you've had a lot of whiskey because it's not.
It's a good sipper.
It doesn't
a
bite.
good
It doesn't hurt to drink. And it just
It's a nice
coats your
maltiness.
mouth and it leaves you. It's a little drying, so you want to sip again every time you finish.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It does have that little drying tendency, like wine would.
Well, it's got that French oak, or not French, but European oak going on there. I think it's probably Spanish oak. And man, I mean, you get that little bit of spiciness, and you're like, "Ooh, I want a little sip. Ooh, I want another sip." Next thing you know, half the bottle's gone.
I'm happy with it. I am happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. If you ever somehow stumble upon an old 15 bourbon cask, buddy, you buy it.
Yeah, well, you never know what you find when you're out and about hunting from time to time.
Yeah, if
But-
you ever see one of those, just stop, grab it. When you get to the register, just pray it's a fair price. You're
Just
paying either way.
Yeah. Well, I think we all do that now. Same thing. Oh God, don't let this be something that I'm going to have to hide it. Without a doubt. But no, that like I said, that's a good Scotch. Honestly, it's a good Scotch. I'm very happy with it. I think it was real good. I'm gonna clear my palate and finish off the Fusion 7.
Well, that's going to be tough to go back to.
Well, I'll tell you what. Having a little sparkling mineral water, it makes the difference on the palate.
Yeah.
Definitely helps.
Clearing it, but now that it has sat for well over an hour in the glass after the initial sips, I just want to go back to it and see exactly in my final kind of like opinion, and then I'll go back to it at a later time to see if things have changed. But you know, the nose is still the same, still getting the sweetness, a little bit of malt, the almond, the honey on that, and I don't know why, but I'm getting like a toasted note to it, almost like on an Elijah Craig toasted barrel. But that might be because of the Scotch that I just had. But
Could be, yeah. I mean, you're probably picking up more of the oak just because it's more tannic and
I'm
bitter.
definitely picking up the oak, the wood. But now that I think about it, that's what it is.
Why is my
Definitely more of
avatar
the-
still the old logo?
Definitely more of the wood on there.
Hey, Marty's here. What's up, brother? How we doing, man? Maybe you've been here the whole time and I didn't notice. If I didn't, then I apologize.
But I will say, it's still nice and sweet. But there's a lot of young juice in it, and I think that's its downfall.
Mm-hmm.
Is the young juice, the 3-year juice that's in it.
Oh, we're back on the
Fusion 7. I think that's the downfall of it. I still think it's okay. I'm not appalled by it or anything like that. Particularly at the price point, I would have liked it to been a few notches better.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
better proof, better and older whiskey. I mean, again,
even
it's
98 proof isn't terrible.
when you're over $60 though, you're you got rare breed.
I mean,
you've got
exactly.
Exactly. There's plenty of other ones out there that
1910,
that
1920.
just run that under the table without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you're into like it's priced against some really good whiskey. That's the problem they have.
And like I said, they are pricing themselves out of the league for what they are, and it is unique. It is different. I'll give them that. Just like they say in the description.
So
I think they have to say that. So your expectation is, well, this is going to be something different, because it certainly is something different.
So just off the top of my head, Anthony, just roughly, this is the competition. So rare breed.
Oh yeah, rare breed.
Noah's Mill, which I think is a great bottle. Not everybody loves it. I like it though.
I think it's good.
I think it's better than the Fusion. I think it's better than the Fusion. Of course, you got 1910, 1920, Maker's 46 cask, and
that 46 cask. Oh, that in your hand beats it hands down for the money.
I mean, I think all these do, and that's kind of the problem for that bottle. So basically, just what I pulled out really quickly, it'd be seventh in line if you're purchasing. So. And maybe farther down than that, in my mind. So,
well, like I said, its downfall is it's too much young juice of theirs, and I think they needed to mix a lot older in it. I don't think they had the mix right. I think it's just too much younger juice. It is not terrible. It's not a drain pour by any means. I'm hoping in time. Like I said, I will drink at least another glass or two to get it way past the shoulder, and I'll leave that set and go back to it. I definitely would be cautious on the price at the $65 price point, because just like we had said and pointed out, and Sean did, that there are plenty other ones out there that are way better at that price point, if not less, that will give you a better palate experience, let's put it that way, than what you're going to get on the Fusion 7 right now. So
absolutely
overall, it's good, but the youngness is just too much on this Fusion.
Yeah, I think as Dustin pointed out earlier, as you pointed out earlier, I think it would do great in the $40, maybe $50 range, but at $65, you're into some serious competition there, and it just doesn't do real well.
Well, when you've got a lot of this juice and you got to roll it out, I wish, you could actually talk to the blender and go, what were you thinking? And not in a bad way, but what were you thinking? What did you get that you thought this is the expression we need to bottle?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately,
you want to ask that sometimes, even when there's some that floor you to the point where you're like, oh my God, this shit is so good, I need a case. You want to say, what were you thinking when you bought or when you blended this? What was your mindset? And explain that.
Yeah, I think you're going to find price is a factor big time, though, a lot of times, and that's something they want to. It's hard for them to disclose that honestly. Be like, well, we had to keep it to this price point.
Well, and I got that, and they're trying to use their distillate, but I think that their distillate at 3 years isn't very exciting. I think it might need to be along the lines of 4, 5, maybe even 6 years before they start blending it. And from my understanding, before they get to all their own distillate, they've got about 2 years left. But I don't know, since they sold out, and I forget who they sold to.
Well, they didn't sell out. They took on I think they're now majority owned, but they didn't sell out to an equity company.
I knew it
They're
was,
not-
well,
It's a venture capital company that I think bought
so
like
the venture
55%.
capital company owns 51%.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But so they sold out.
Well,
So-
Because they don't have the final say.
but they're still
Right.
running the day to day. The same people are running the company.
Oh yeah, they're always going to be, without a doubt. But I wish I could remember the name of it. But anyway,
It's an equity company. Like they
it
don't.
is.
Pickled
It is.
Tabasco is a different bottle too, you know. Yeah, there you go.
But
So
it's just a little young, and it just needs a little more time in the barrel before they go ahead and blend it. But again, like I said, it's not a drain pour, and it's not going to knock your socks off. But I'm going to give it a second go here in a little bit of time. I'm going to drink at least another glass or two out of it here over the next few weeks, and then just put it in the back of the shelf and let it set. And maybe in 3 months, 6 months, go back to it, and see what happens. Even though I know you said nothing happened for you, Dustin, but maybe my taste will change.
Hey, no reason not to go back
Hey,
for it, man.
and Anthony, just for poops and smiles or whatever, I just grabbed 4 more real quick that I thought would also probably beat that. Ezra 7 is like 55-60. Rebel cast strength, I think, is better. Still Austin cast strength, and the Chattanooga Founders, all better. Although this is, I know, a little hard to find, but not like impressive.
Chattanooga Founders. I've never seen that.
Well, I have to
Want me
think
to highlight him again, Mike? You can see
So
it.
I heard a nope when I raised this up. Is a no.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Rebel.
I don't think I would pick that one over the Fusion 7, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, so Anthony's saying it
It's
sounds
all
good.
right.
Anyway,
But I still love you, Sean. I think your hat's awesome.
well, thank you, Mike.
But you know what? I'll take the Four Roses Select Reserve or whatever it is that $50 bottle of Four Roses puts out. And I'm not a big Four Roses fan, but I like
the
that
small
better.
batch select.
Yeah.
The smaller select.
Cheers, Adam.
Adam, what's up, man? And Mike, just so we're clear, I also love you.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to figure out what's going on the shirt. Yeah, that's. Oh yes, there we go. Yeah, I love the shirt.
Wife got it for me.
So, Mike, Livewire is actually streaming tonight.
I know we are back.
You're back, baby. So, what's on tap for tonight?
Oh, I mean, we're just doing a pub tonight. I think we just need to get back in the swing of it. We've had, a lot of distractions the last few weeks, so it's good to be back doing our thing.
Yeah. Well, you aged too. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had, since the last time we streamed, I've been to Utah. Adriana's raised almost $17,000 for charity. It's been quite a bit that's gone on since we.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mike, you had distractions, but they were really tiny distractions. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about this on Scotch Down Under. Adriana's is the perfect person to get blackout drunk because when she falls, it's a really short fall. Doesn't hurt too much.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt her.
It's soft.
It doesn't hurt her. But be careful because
surprisingly noisy when she falls. So.
She's probably listening. It works.
She probably bounces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she wouldn't bounce far. She doesn't fall far to gain enough force to.
Yeah, you need momentum, and there's not a lot of that.
Yeah, but when you don't have a lot of weight, you can just kind of bounce right off stuff. I mean, it's
but
amazing.
those arms go crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen a lizard fall from really high? It doesn't even hurt them. So
yeah, it sounds like a splat, but they run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's for sure.
Peter White, glad to hear all these bottles that are better than a bottle I will never see. FOMO goes away.
That's it. That's what I'm here to do. I love destroying FOMO. That's what my life is all about.
I do think that. So YouTube has kind of
a fusions.
YouTube has kind of a double. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because on one hand, the junkies and the mashing drums with all these followers can sell shit out that you never expected in a flash. But on the other hand, we can all get together and be like, you don't really have to chase this bottle. It's really not as good as everybody's making it out to be. Let the chasers chase, and you go find something better.
I got to say, I'm a little butthurt that I did not get that Old Forester pick. Like I was working at the time, so I didn't even know it was happening. That was one I really wanted to get for Mash and Journey, but it is what it is. I mean, because I got this one, and I'm not in love with it, so I wanted to see what Jason and Scott would pick.
Yeah.
But
Well, shoot them an email and see if they'll send you a sample.
Yeah,
I may have. So I tried to buy it. I was on 6 minutes into tier 2, and for whatever reason I'm
also tier 2.
Yeah, for their tier 2, right? For
now you both dropped your Patreon with Jason, right? And you're doing through Scotty, right? Because it's much easier to be top tier with him.
Yeah, I'm tier 2 with Scott. Yeah,
Jason. Yeah, I told Jason that too, but
Jason's even told people to do that.
It was 6 minutes in. I hit submit and complete purchase, and it was like your format is wrong for your expiration date or something like that on your credit card, and I was like, shit. And I'm on my phone, my wallet's in the other room. It was the autocomplete that your phone does. And I go and I get it, and I'm like, oh, okay. I put the expiration in, hit submit, and it was 8 minutes. And it was like, too late. You fucked.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of knew that bottle was going to go fast, and for good reason. But yeah, it would have been nice to get one. But oh well.
I'll tell you what, man. Most of those Old Foresters are not very good, and maybe they got a honey barrel, but sometimes you're limited when you go to those big guys to how many barrels you get to try. Maybe they found one they liked. It may not be a wow bottle though. So
I mean, are you an Old Forester fan though? Dustin?
I am.
I tend to like the Old Forester picks. Some of them are hot, but I do think if you let them open up, a lot of them they get better.
That's the problem with this one. It's like gasoline, but I love barrel proofs.
I've got like 4 or 5 of these things, all of the barrel proofs. I like Old Forester, but I mean, I just remember so many good, like the 90 proofers, and I just haven't had one nearly as good as those 90 proofers since they went barrel proof.
Speaking of bottles, Sean, that you can go get so you don't feel FOMO.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Of course, a year ago.
It's lower proof. It's not barrel proof like those are, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, so for me,
that was a FOMO bottle because they were impossible to get. Or 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're all over now. Now the 1920 is a little harder, but
2 years ago I was hunting one of those and I finally found one and they wanted some ridiculous thing. And I was
and just want to throw it out there. I hope this does not become a trend, but it seems like what happens in Kentucky kind of spreads. I just recently saw a 1910 for $65. So I hope that does not become the standard price. We'll see what happens.
I think they're 60 here. I'm not sure. Let me look.
Yeah, there's a price increase coming from pretty much all the distillers are going to be raising their prices over the next year.
We'll see that was a huge jump for me because I was used to seeing it at 50. So
I never saw them that cheap. They were 55, 60 here before.
Oh,
okay. Oh.
I'd see them on sale occasionally for 50. Maybe
Old Forester 1910 is 60 here.
Okay, so maybe I was just used to getting really good prices. Maybe that's what the problem was.
Yeah. Maybe in Kentucky, it's easier to get a good deal.
No, it's not.
Generally, no.
Never been.
No, it's. I mean, I actually have a short video on that exact subject. But anyway,
God, Mike, you're about 23 hours closer to it than we are, and we've been there so many times. It's not funny.
I know. Yeah, that's I've been to 46 states, and Kentucky is one of them I've never been to.
That's amazing considering that you drink bourbon a lot.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Mark, one of the things we were saying is or at least I thought is it's not bad, but I think they have too much younger whiskey in that mix compared with the 12-year older stuff that's in it. And I think that's its downfall right now. It's not terrible, and you're right about the sharpness. That's what you get with the younger whiskey. It needs a little more time in a barrel rather than 3-year. But I said, you want to ask that blender, what were you thinking? And not in a bad way, but what were you thinking? What was on your mind when you said, this is the one that's going to do it? What what was it about this particular one that you said, this is the one we're going to sell? Because to me, I would have said, no.
Now, granted, I don't have the Fusion 7, I have the 4, but I think, can we agree, Anthony, that the 4 is better in your mind?
I have the 4. I
Yeah.
have the 4.
I like the
3,
Fusion 4.
I've got
Yeah, I
the
have
2.
them.
I just don't have the 1. Now I'm drinking the 5.
And so
Because I
I'm just
poured
having a
that
little bit of
because
this
that was the
Chattanooga
night
111, and I think it's probably better, and it's like $40. So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell Adriana you said that.
I will tell her. I'll tell her myself. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, and the thing is that Chattanooga's young. It's just, there's flavors I prefer in it. So,
Mark, yes. I'm going to say yes, that's the youth in the whiskey. Because if you add it up, it's what I say it was 70% 3-year. The rest is 12-year. So that's 30. And
I think what Mark said,
I think that's just
it.
It's just the youngness of that, and it's giving you a lot of oakiness to it. And that tannin is what you're getting on the tongue that gives you that bitterness. And it's not off-putting to the point where you don't want to drink it, but it's to the point to where that's the note I'm getting that I go, yeah.
Well, see, I think Mark's last comment is probably it. Like they tasted the barrel and they're like, "Hey, this is getting a little bit too tannic. We got to dump this."
Well, it's not so much done, but if they would probably let it go to maybe, like I said, 4, try it, 5, maybe even 6 years, that would go away.
Yeah,
well,
possibly.
It may get even more tannic, but it'd be something they could blend, but it could be something they could blend with another barrel that didn't age as quickly, and you could have created a better bourbon, which is what the big distilleries do.
Yeah, well,
they blend bad barrels with bad barrels and get good whiskey. That's kind of how it works sometimes.
I feel like maybe this Bardstown doesn't have the foresight yet to.
I'm sipping on the Fusion 5.
Well, I know they need to quit fucking up Discovery. It is not the same since 4.
It is not. And I'm glad I didn't find the 7.
Well, they can't source those bourbons anymore, man. Like those bourbons are hard to get now. You saw what Fourgate just did. They just got a hold of 3 barrels of 14-year MGP and had to charge $4.50 a bottle to sell it to make a profit.
Okay.
There's too many whiskey drinkers and YouTubers.
Well, Mark, and that's a good way to do it.
Who started this trend?
Wait till that 7 opens up a bit more.
Ralphie.
And then pour yourself some.
Liquor Hound, those two.
When you actually do it, let me know. And I'll pour some along with you. And you can be in chat or you can come up on stream. And we'll do a fusion flight together. I have 3. I have 4. I have 5. I don't have 6.
That'd be fun.
But I have.
I'd love to see you two go through the fusions. That'd be fun.
Yeah. But I think that'd be good.
Come and do it tonight, Mark, on Livewire. Run through it. Let's see what you think.
There you go. Challenge.
It's the whole freaking point of a pub.
Indeed.
At home.
Oh, at $40? Yeah. Now, that's what we were saying. They're pricing themselves out on this bottle, particularly the Fusion series, at $65 when there are other whiskeys out there that right now for the money, they're way better, and rare breed, rye, just wild turkey, or Kentucky Spirit. Come on. You can't go wrong with it. Or Chattanooga is, for the money, it's just a better whiskey right now than that is. It's just, like I said, it's the youngness. It's not terrible. Don't get me wrong. It's not terrible.
I think I'd actually take a Cooper's Craft 100 over the Fusion, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I would too.
That's absolutely half the price. So,
well, I'd take an 8 and sand over it as well. Just full disclosure.
Yep.
Like I haven't seen one of those in a while. Are they still making that, or is it going? Because that is a really good.
They're really hard to find. I have not. I saw like a Dusty on a shelf a while back, but they're not. They're not.
Yeah,
you're not gonna find them much.
That was incredible for $20. I was like, geez, really?
Yep.
So, Rob, you're right. It is decent. It's not anything that's going to blow your socks off by any means. I just think it's a little young, but I'm willing to give it, another try before I really pass judgment on it. But sipping on this 5.
Yeah, I mean,
The 5 is thinner to me than the 7, but
and Rob's
flavor on
pointing
it
out
is
the
more
huge
consistent.
problem with discos. They're 150 now.
At least.
Yeah. I mean, 150 at the distillery. So, more than that.
It actually costs more at the distillery usually than it costs locally.
Oh, okay.
The distilleries in Kentucky generally have to actually mark it up above retail, because they don't want to be competing with their business
I
model.
got you. I mean, I've never seen it cheaper at a store, but it's Kentucky, so
yeah. Well, let me tell you, you could buy Elijah Craig barrel proof at Heaven Hill, and you'll notice that they want a nice $15.
What do we got? We got a fancy bottle. Mike has a fancy bottle.
Yeah, so I just saw
It's a Penelope.
He's got the big P.
Yes,
So
I
this-
We all want a big P, don't we? Anyway,
the Rocky Mountain Select. So they had
Very
Colorado selections. This is the first time I've seen one that says Rocky Mountain. So I got it.
find love in your city today. That's also happening.
And Dustin, finally,
Oh, you got the 50. Yeah, you got the 56. That's the one that came. That's the highest proof of all the ones that came out from what I've seen.
yeah, 135.5. That I ordered this bottle June 7th. Just got
Yeah.
here Friday.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you got that one because that one sounds like it's going to be the best of the bunch. So you may have waited longer, but you got a good one.
Yeah, see, again, I'm with Rob. With the Fusion series. The only reason I bought this latest Booker's, well, not the latest, because Jason reviewed the latest, but the Ronnie is because I found it for $70. But other than that, I would pass. It'd be a hard pass at the $100 price point on a Booker's. So
There you go, Mike. Just so you know,
Mike's sexing it up
our
over
official timekeeper is letting us know.
I do have to go. I have to go get our Patreon wheel ready.
That's right.
For our
Hey, Mike,
Just so you know, Mike.
here. Can we do like a pre-stream chug? Is that a thing that ever happens?
Oh, absolutely. If you're in the mood, I'll highlight it.
Look at that! Look
Mike's
at that
smiling.
face! Look at
I
that!
just, I just thought, why not kick this thing off right? Let's get the folks hyped up
Look
to
at
hop
that
over.
face.
Hop on over to
Warmed up, you
Livewire.
reckon, Sean?
You might as well have just told Mike it's Christmas early this year.
That's
You
right.
know,
6 years old.
I'm the devil you love. There we go. Yeah. All right, now we're ready for the party.
That's it.
I hope I don't regret that later.
No.
Your audience
It's only
hopes you
free
do.
proof Yellowstone, so you shouldn't.
Start
Yeah,
the stream like
it
this
is.
already, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm also working on 2 shirts right now. One of them involves a sideways hat. So,
Dang it, you deleted that before I could click on it, Anthony.
I'm working on it.
we're trying to find love in our city.
Yeah. Well, yes,
Should we all- is it-
Paul, you
should we all
mentioned
just
that
do
this is
that
not
tonight?
how we do.
This does not work well sideways.
No. So you,
Yeah,
Paul,
that's how you
mentioned
know it's
digital
on
pubs.
lit.
Apparently the bots believe digital pubs should be the same as regular pubs. This is just a place for us to hook up. We just need to know the algorithm to get
There-
the
There's like low key
AI.
hookers around the pub, and
yeah. Just have
All
to
right, I
click
do
the
got
link.
to jet, Anthony. Love you
Yep.
guys. You guys at
Yep,
Livewire.
we'll
when
see
you're
you
done
shortly,
here.
brother.
Cheers.
Make
Yeah,
sure everybody
me too,
hits the
Mike.
like button.
That's right. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and make sure you click on that bell. Get all
All right, we'll see you guys.
Mike, we'll
see
see you shortly.
you, Mike.
See you, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Dustin, I can't even pull that off. Like my hat is kind of formed in my head, so I can't even. It just sets on top of my head. Really, it doesn't really. it will not stretch that direction.
Yeah. No,
Sort
it's
of,
definitely not a
you
good
sort
feeling.
of
So I
remind me of
just
the,
look like some kind of like weird pirate, like some kind of Captain Crunch character or something.
No, you remind me of what's the corporal's name from F Troop? Didn't his hat he could turn it sideways so he had the fold in the brim at the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I don't want the point. Like, it's not going to keep the sun off your face at this point. I don't know what. Maybe
Well, let me think. It was
it'll like catch the rain and have it run off the sides onto your shoulders. I guess that could happen. Anyway, is that it? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes,
exactly.
Corporal Agon. Yes.
That's
There we
right.
go. Yeah. F troop look.
Exactly.
I cannot give you any real reason why you would do it that way, but maybe you just want a hat, and you don't want it covering the sun because it's a cloudy day.
Yeah. I have light eyes, so I'm super sensitive to light, so I always wear a hat pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I know, there's times where I want, for example, if I wear a hat to the gym, I'll do the backwards baseball cap because I really just want it there to soak up sweat coming off of my brow,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I don't really necessarily want the thing in front of me because there's like barbells and stuff in front of me.
Yeah. And you don't want to look like you're from the 80s with a sweatband. So
that's not a good look.
No, that is not a good look.
So there's nothing wrong with the
Not a good
backward
look at
baseball
all.
cap. So I figure the sideways cap, maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's just a style.
it's you're approaching douchebag territory if you're going sideways. It feels like to me, especially if
That's a style, isn't it? Being a dougebag, like it's a douchebag.
if you also have the dark sunglasses
official
on,
style,
at night, there's a few things that give it away.
So you don't work out with your sunglasses on?
Not often. No.
Well, I mean, I think you're missing out because those guys look really cool.
Commandante Lou, what's up, man? Oh, do they? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. I mean, all the ladies are just lining up to
Cheers, Lou.
I actually don't know, but I'm just going to assume there's a reason why they're doing it.
That's not what I said, Vic. Just to clear things up, I don't like the sun hitting my eyes. That's not the same thing. That's why I wear the hat, just to clear things up. So, Vic, always pushing the buttons. We appreciate you being here. Sunglasses inside at night. Yeah.
But
Only thing better are the people who wear sunglasses while they're in the pool.
There you go. Makes perfect sense.
Which, by the way, I bought a pair of Maui Jims and lost them on my first dive into the water on a bachelor party.
yeah,
Fair enough.
So they were good for one drive up to a lake.
one drive.
Yep.
Hey,
$160. That was a great use of money.
it doesn't sound like it, but you do whatever you got to do, Dustin.
Hey, you know what?
You do what you.
You know what? One guy had to have his front teeth replaced afterwards. So I mean, I kind of came out ahead.
Hey,
I feel like whatever gives you the penis tingle, you go for it.
That was not something that happened on that bachelor party because we didn't have any women there.
Disappointing all around. Then
Yeah, I know. It was like one of those things. Where I'm like, why are there women here? He goes, yeah, the fiance really wanted that not to happen. I'm like, that's why we should have had strippers here on the boat.
exactly. Yeah. Sure, Kitty's nailing the douchebag mantra there. I feel like.
I wish I had a collar to pop, but I don't.
well, I finished
I guess I could.
Fusion 7, finished the 5, finished the
Can we
Belvine.
do? Yeah, there we go.
And then we need another shirt.
Can't
over
really
that
see
shirt
the.
with another collar, so you have dual.
That's true,
collar.
and I don't have any sunglasses. I'm doing it all wrong. Oh well.
So, Woods isn't here, but
Are we gonna get a little bit?
I am going to have some since
Yeah.
he took the time to send this, and I just want everyone to make sure he knows that it's here, and I'm going to pour myself some of this since he hand delivered this to me. You're always going to know what time it is, that's for sure.
Well, now I'm doing the douchebag 2 watch thing just to look, I spent more money.
That's right.
Now,
There you
they're
go.
sold, so
Where's
it's kinda-
Ken? So I'm going to pour a little of this Port Charlotte.
I think you're supposed to wear them all on the same arm, though, right? You just have to have a line of watches.
No, I've seen the Justin Bieber thing, man. He'll have a gold Daytona on the left, and he'll have a gold Submariner on the right, and then he'll have an Autumn and Pinget on his cock. It's a thing.
Oh my gosh! Does
Okay,
that smell
I missed the watch on the cock. I haven't seen that one. Okay,
Yeah. So that's why they put the box over it. They don't want people stealing it.
Gotcha.
I
All
guess
right.
I
So
took
no,
Justin Timberlake instead of Bieber, but whatever.
there you go. Yeah, I don't have the Napoleon style head. I guess that's the problem.
Smells delicious.
Yeah, I'm curious what you think about this one, Anthony. So,
So is that going to be a new shirt for you, Sean?
what's that?
Pack rat?
No, the Rat Pack. Yes, because we were called that by a specific individual.
Yes, I know. I've heard all about it, but is that going to be a new shirt for you now?
Yeah, so I'm just okaying it with those folks that will appear on the shirt with me.
Yep.
So I got Dan's permission. I gotta check with Charles, and I gotta check with a couple other guys. I want to see. I'm trying to figure out who the fourth person's going to be. But it's either going to be Ben or Scott. I feel like, and I think Dustin really wants to be soloed.
I was just making sure Anthony saw it. I don't care about the solo. I just wanted to make sure Anthony.
Oh yeah,
he was
no, I
looking
saw
down.
it, but I'm
Okay, I'm
sorry.
sorry. I saw Anthony looking down, so I was like making sure he saw it.
I got
nothing
you.
was being soloed.
Well, Anthony, were you still in the background on Ken's stream last night over here, your time this morning, for when JD came on at the airport?
Yeah, and he was at the airport. Yes, I was. Yes.
Showing off all the bottles and duty free over there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, so when we came back from Mexico, I was really disappointed at the duty-free shop. There was nothing there that was exceptional. Like, everything was just pretty much shelfers here in Kentucky. Like, there was nothing at all that I was like, oh, fantastic. I haven't seen that before.
You usually have to look for scotches and stuff, not maybe you can get lucky there.
Yeah, they kind of had this like showcase thing of a Dewar's that I didn't. I mean, maybe it's good. I don't know. It was like a Dewar's 17 or something. I can't remember. It doesn't matter because I wasn't interested. So yeah, just that was the only thing that was kind of like, maybe I haven't seen that before, but also don't care. So yeah.
Oh, this Port Charlotte.
Hey, also update, Anthony. They have already found you a girl, so we don't even need AI anymore. They already have found you a girl. It just gets better and better. Anyway, back to the Port Charlotte.
Well, no, actually, they're actually telling us a story slowly over time.
Yeah, it's a really slow story, but
here's the thing: once you give them your credit card number, Anthony, here's the cool thing: they actually know who your wife is. They're just going to send you a picture of her.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I paid all that money.
Also, what's up, Bobby? Cheers to you, brother.
Oh my gosh, I don't care what anyone says. This thing smells heavenly. Let me cleanse the palate one more time here.
Yeah, I was unfortunately a little disappointed with the 2013 one after the 11 and the 12 were just knocking your socks off. 13's still good, but man, those first two were wow. Well, the first two I had, sorry. They've been doing it for years, but those are the first two I had.
Definitely better than Fusion 7.
Well, on that, probably agree. Hey, all right.
Oh, what'd you get there, Chris?
It's fragile. Oh my god, you got a whole case.
It's French. It's fragile.
Oh, cool.
Look at that.
Like 13, yeah.
I couldn't find that.
Yeah, father and son.
You have to buy it online, Anthony. You can pick it up at multiple stores online.
He's got a backup, and then watch. He's going to get a backup.
I feel like there's more coming. Hey, okay. Cool.
Is that from
Florida? I had a pour of that once. I thought it was pretty good. So I keep a little higher.
And a backup. Okay.
Yeah, Chris, hold those a little higher.
And another backup.
And another backup.
Really? You like the 1870 that much?
Yeah, well, it was $20 off, so it was about
okay.
$15 more expensive than the 80 proof.
Gotcha. Yeah,
that
price high.
Oh yeah,
that's a must-have. Yeah.
That's an expensive
You got
bottle to
another one
ship,
of it,
though.
don't
I guess you got a good deal on the shipping per bottle at this point.
And
There you go.
back up.
There you go.
How much was your total shipping on that box?
Free shipping.
Oh, well, never mind anything
yeah.
I just said.
Yeah.
I
Fantastic.
don't
Every
think you
cheap
spend
bottle.
more than $200 and you get free shipping.
Seems solid to me. Yeah, that's
Crikey.
Yeah, those are some nice bottles.
At
Particularly
those prices,
the-
you could throw another shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah.
oh boy. Are you from Austria? No, that's Australia.
So that's where Arnold Schwarzenegger's from, right?
Well, to tell a funny story there, the first time that an Australian ever won a gold medal at the Olympics, the Austrian national anthem was played.
Is that true? That's amazing.
Yep.
So like there's so many bits that have been done about like Dumb and Dumber kind of made that really famous, and then James Franco and Seth Rogen, they have a bit out there about it. Yeah, that's a sexy bottle right there.
Yeah, I think those are I think we can get those here in the States delivered to us for about $150 plus shipping, I think is kind of what I'm seeing.
That was 139 Australian.
Yeah, so when they first came out,
So around about $42 US, I think, at the moment with the current exchange.
yeah, when they first came out, they were a lot cheaper. Unfortunately, they have gone up. Yeah, so I can get them shipped to me, $150 basically, $149.96 plus shipping from the UK. And you both can do the same thing, by the way.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I'm going to do
Just in case you don't want to do work, here's a
that
link to buy it right now. Both for
against
both.
that.
Oh, you got okay.
Hold that.
So-
I
look
tell
at
you
that.
what, that old 13 from I think that's Japan, right, Chris? Or initially, that thing is so daggum good. Oh my god!
And that's basically
We've got
unavailable now.
And the older style 13 as well, which is different box, but
Chris,
I have to change my
Slightly
pants
older,
now.
it's the
Excuse me.
this is a lot better than this.
Wow. Yeah. So I've had the Japanese release. I Whiskey She Wines actually gave me 2 ounces of that, and delicious.
Chris, I have one request. When I see you in Kentucky, can you bring me just a splash of either of the Japanese releases? Just you don't have any. Just the tiniest amount. I just want to sip, just to say I've tried it.
Well, if I can get into this cupboard.
Because that's one of those that I've always wanted to try, and
That bottle's going to Kentucky,
oh well, okay then.
but it's for Iverson at OBC.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're gonna have to, hand him money. Be like, hey, well, you should crack that right now.
I will not be surprised if Iverson doesn't crack that as soon as we walk in the door with it. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I 9 times out of 10, I tell people, you don't really need to try that bourbon. It's not that great. And you know what? Don't worry about it. That's one that I actually think is worth a little bit of a chase. It's really good.
Old Turkey is some of my favorite stuff from what I've had, and so yeah, I would love to try more of it if I can.
Have you been to a Revival? It's going to cost you some money, but they have some Old Turkeys occasionally for very, very small pours for very high prices. But
wait,
Well,
what is this place? What's this place you speak of?
Revival, it's officially a store in Northern Kentucky that they sell Dusty bourbon, and their prices I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think I would ever pay for anything.
Right, so
there.
just straight, just this action.
Honestly, it's legitimately fair pricing given retail and what Dusty bourbon goes for. It's just I would never pay those prices. That
Gotcha.
said, they have a bar there, and they have a limit. You can only drink 2 ounces, so they do half-ounce pours.
Well,
And so like I got a
so
30
it's for children.
It's a good way to taste something to find
No,
out.
I'm joking. Yeah,
But so like I got a $30 pour of the Wild Turkey Octagon from like the 70s that Jason had on his bottle stream the other day. Was like pick the best label. or whatever, best bottle or something from like
Yeah.
past. And he's like, I've always wanted to try one of these. And I'm like, you know what? That's a rare example of a turkey I've had. Jason hasn't. They
There
had
you
like
go.
the 1960s Fitzgerald I tried for about $30 for a little taste. And the
Yeah.
surprise shocker was that they had an old charter from like the early 2000s, not even that old, for like $6. And damn, that was good.
Cool.
But
Peter,
yeah,
that
I spent
is a
$100
great-
after tip for
That is a great pour. right
2
there.
ounces of whiskey.
Well, we get these for about 125 Australian, so which is probably around about maybe 85, 90 US.
Can you still pick those up?
Yeah, that was going to be my question as well.
We're waiting for a shipment in from Japan at the moment, but I've got backups. I like it so much. I'd
I
buy
assume
6 at a
that's
time.
is that not available to the States then?
No. So I've got.
It's only
Another
available in
3 or 4
Japan.
bottles.
Like they're importing it from Japan to get
No,
it.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, could you, like, as a U.S. citizen, could you import it from Japan?
Probably not legally.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to be a company. You'd have to have like a liquor license to do it. Probably.
Oh, okay. So,
I'd love to get the Maker's Mark that gets exclusively sent to Japan because that was my dad's daily drinker back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And then they took it from him.
What's that? The gold.
Yep.
so Chris, we're gonna have to maybe talk a little business offline because I seriously want one of those. Like,
You've got to talk with my social director. She has the delivery list.
I know who she is. I feel like so.
That's right. She controls everything.
Now I do
She-
have
she
I do have
controls-
access to a Maker's Mark Blue Wax, the first Blue Wax they ever did, which was in honor of the 1976 UK Championship.
Yep.
My dad has one sitting in his garage.
Very
Like,
cool.
I keep thinking like either how much can we sell it for, or is it worth cracking? Because this is the time to
Well,
sell.
I know someone who'd buy it off you.
Yeah, I don't know what the market price on that thing is. That's the thing. I mean, if it's
I'm sure there's a way to find out.
it's obscure enough where it's actually hard to find on a lot of like look for auctions on it. Because I've tried looking, and there were a lot of store picks around that era, but this particular one was like the first they did.
Yeah.
So it has a little bit more. It should be a little bit of a premium, I would think, but could be wrong.
Yeah. You know, my issue with now, granted, that's the first one, so it's kind of, different. But my issue with a lot of those makers picks is like I get that they're collectible and that's cool, but it's always the same thing inside. Like that's what kills me about it. It's just makers. It's not, and I don't like makers.
This is makers from a
True.
long
That's
time.
true. That does help it.
I've
But
had Dusty makers, and it does not taste like current makers at all.
Yeah. But all the current ones, I like. There's one at a local store that's $130 for the special new one. And I'm like, dude, it's just regular makers in a fancy bottle. Like I don't care at all. So
Yeah, I don't personally think I find Maker's Mark downright offensive. The
yeah,
40
see, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like cherry NyQuil, and there is some alcohol in it. So
I remember I miss Bourbon saying he's another dead channel right now. I hope he comes back someday. But Chris, he was just every time he'd go to make it, he's like, God, I just can't make it. I can't like it. I don't know why, but I just can't enjoy this.
it's not good. It's bad.
He couldn't even
Well,
get into
you
the 46
know what?
and the
You
others.
like the profile or you don't like the profile. I know people that love it, and they have barrel picks and this and that, and I mean they love it. Well, it's like anything. You're either going to like it
Barrel
or you're
picks might
not.
be cool.
I mean, and nobody's taste or palate's the same to where
Yeah,
I'm
can
digging
do
the
some of the
Isle of
picks.
Barley 2011, but Dustin may say, you know what, it's good, but my 2013 hands down is better, and I might say, well, you might be right, but my opinion is the 11's better. But
Yeah. So
again,
so
you
circling
like what you
circling
You'd be
back
right,
to
the
that.
11's better than 13.
Yeah. So circling
but
back
you
to that,
like what
Anthony.
you like.
Did
That's
we-
what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You like what you like, and we may not always agree on the best whiskey. Let's put it that
True.
way. But
Like I think Long Branch is drinkable, and Anthony would rather
knew that
die
was coming.
in a
I
fire.
knew
Like
that was
Anthony
coming.
would
I did.
rather light himself on fire than drink Long Branch. I think it's okay. So
See, here we go. Look at Mark. Here, what he have to say? Yeah,
there you go.
love.
Yeah.
Now, so I love makers outside of standard makers. Like everything that's not standard makers, I pretty much enjoy drinking.
FAE01.
Oh, but both 1 and 2, all
I'm
the
just
license,
saying,
all
when
of the
you get
license
into-
plate ones.
When
Yeah,
you get away from that standard expression, and I'm not lumping them with old number 7, but
Yeah,
when
it's
you
kind of
get
that same
out
deal.
of that everyday expression, holy shit! It's like, why can't you do this all the time?
Yeah.
But you got to
Although
start
I'm not a-
somewhere.
I'm not a
and
huge
you
fan of
gotta
the single
have
barrel
that
from Jack.
affordable bourbon for somebody. And so, boom, that's what started it.
Yeah.
But then they have that FAE01, they have the cask strength, and it goes from there.
The 46
So
cask, I love
it's
that.
definitely a decent bourbon. But if you don't like the cherry cough syrup type profile, you're not going to do it. That's like, there's people that will drink Jaeger like nobody's business. But for me, the only time
And
I
those
really ever
people are
drank Jaeger
wrong.
was one in college, but when I had a cough, because it reminded me of Vic's Formula 44D. I don't know if you got,
I don't know what you're
Chris
talking
would
about,
know
man.
what I'm talking
But
about.
Jaeger and
Right.
vodka and Jaeger and Red Bull is the taste of happiness.
Well, see,
I
some people
I
don't
could
like
not
it, but there was
more
no Red
strongly
Bull.
disagree with anything in my life ever.
There was no Red Bull when I was
And
drinking.
you've not had nearly enough good nights after a few too many shots.
No,
of that.
I have. I just won't. I refuse to drink Jaeger. Like I refuse to drink Jaeger as part of a good night. There's so much alcohol out there. There's no reason
Hey,
to
you know
drink
what?
it.
You know
man,
what?
I
When
agree
the
with
girl
you.
the next morning
The-
still smells the Jaeger, you start to like it.
The standard makers.
I guess
I'm not a big
if
fan
it were, how can I say this?
Man, and you're right.
If it were
Positive
if
association.
Jaeger were applied to body parts that I enjoy, then I may appreciate it more.
It's like you wake up to perfume and Jaeger smell, and you're like, well,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
smell of victory.
kind of nice in
You,
this
you
setting.
never know. It might also turn you off those body parts as well, too, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, it probably does have a cleansing effect, which is probably appreciated as well. Anyway, we're sidetracking again.
But you know, Anthony, I think what you're getting at, what would actually be really interesting if we kind of did a community thing where we came up with what are the objective notes that we believe a quality bourbon should have or shouldn't have. And we were able to kind of work on like a way to really create a consistent, objective view of what is a quality whiskey. And then we could then go back into then here's my opinion and why I don't like this, but we could still start from that objective stance where, for example, I think we all agree objectively, younger whiskey is inferior to older whiskey until older whiskey reaches the point of becoming bitter from age.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we all agree that is
down is 100% correct.
And that's something objectively I can taste in whiskey, and I can. Now, I mind you, I might be wrong about how old or how young, but top shelf Jaeger.
Yeah, I mean, and also, like on the makers thing. So some people have told me that they equate it to like Luden's cough drops instead of NyQuil, and so they enjoy it. And so, it's all how your palate perceives it, and so they're getting a similar experience. It's just that they like that and I don't. So
we can all objectively agree. Makers, relatively young.
Yeah.
The finish is relatively short.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Try the 80 proof.
Yeah, and I think as the Scotch test dummies have brought up a lot of times, one of the things I look for in premium whiskey is what they call a transition, where the initial approach to the palate, to the mid palate, to the finish, it changes, and you get different flavors as it moves
I
through.
think they should.
Also, sure, Kay, there is a channel that is pairing Jaeger
American
and
malt.
perfume, probably.
Yeah, but my point is, Makers doesn't do that.
I totally agree.
Makers
From
is
the
boring
initial-
as heck.
Yeah, from the initial
Yeah.
sip to the palate taste to how it develops on the palate, then to how it finishes and what comes back. Let me use that. absolutely right.
Yep.
That to me is the quintessential experience for
and
a
this,
whiskey.
this right here has it. You get upfront sweetness, then you get the barrel char, then you get the finish where it lingers with like a little bit of char, a little bit of nut. What depends on batch, of course, but ECBP, that 12-year bourbon, does it. This doesn't do it as well.
Is that a store pick, Dustin?
No, that's a 122.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Here, Jack Daniel's heritage again. Now it's not as bold as the ECBP is in terms of changes, but it's got a different finish from the approach, and the mid palate is a little different. It's got it. Most bourbon doesn't. That's why most bourbon is not as good objectively as a good Scotch, and that's partially because bourbons have gotten younger over the years, and there's nothing.
And it has. It absolutely has. You're not going and picking up 10, 12, 15-year bourbon, just pulling it off the shelf.
Yeah, it's not. You can't just grab them anymore.
10
You
years
be
ago.
able to. You can't now.
10 years ago, you would find more of it. You go back 15, 16 years ago, you were finding Pappy lined on the shelves.
Yeah, well, 10, 15 years ago, you were going to stores and they had 12-year-old bourbons for $20. You're like, they had 10-year bourbons for $6.
Elijah Craig was 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Buffalo Trace had 10-year-old products out there.
Well, we don't have to go back that far over here for the Elijah Craig 12-year.
Yeah, but it wasn't $30.
The Land of Oz is so far behind us. I mean, come on. You guys just got Disco 3, right?
We don't even get discos over here. I had to import a disco.
No, they got Stag Batch 6. They're like Stag Batch 6.
Proves my
No,
point.
we have actually hit batch 11.
Oh, okay. Only
On
6
Stag,
behind.
look at there. Man, they are moving on along there.
Well, we skipped about 7 of them. So
I actually think it would be a fun project if we got a couple of whiskey tubers together to kind of come up with a list of kind of here are the 10 or 15 things we're looking for in a whiskey, and let's kind of come up with a way to objectively score, and then we bring in our subjective opinions. And I think it'd be really and now mind you, it's objective in terms of like how long is the finish. I mean, that's hard to do. Like you pull out a stopwatch and go, I'm still getting finished 12 minutes later. I can't even really tell I drink whiskey now.
Yeah. So speaking of objective things, can we objectively say that ECBP is the benchmark for barrel proofs in the, say, $60 to $80 range? I know it varies quite a bit. But I can't think. I know Stag's out there, but even when I talk about like the 12 and 15, to me, I think a C920 or a B520 beats those in my mind. Because granted, it's batch to batch, and so they vary and all that. Same with Stags, but I mean, to me, ECBP is the benchmark. Like so if you want to compete in that price range and you have a barrel proof, that's the standard to me. But I'd like to get everybody else's thoughts as well.
So I just did a 5 cast strength bourbon review with Mike. One of us picked ECBP, the other one picked it third out of the group. But I think.
But you did the latest batch though, which is kind of it's okay.
The thing is, I grabbed a random batch. I mean, that's kind of how you do it. Right?
No, I got you. Yeah.
So I guess what I'd come back to, and I'd say this is, it depends on your profile in terms of what you like. I would say ECBP is a good pick if you like the more traditional Kentucky bourbon. But if you're a fan of like the Brown Foreman profile, I think the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof is a better choice. If you like the turkey profile, hell, you can't argue that Rare Breed's not the easier bottle to get.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Now, I think everybody in the group knows my love for Wild Turkey. That is a good bottle. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, exactly. This just what Dustin was saying. When you get up into this
and much more available,
Jack Daniels, this is a solid bourbon.
In Southern Kentucky, it's not really more available. I see them about as often as I see ECBPs.
They've become a little hard to get recently, but And then, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Honestly, isn't the answer Knob Creek 9-year single barrel?
I mean, okay, so if you're talking availability, then sure, but quality, I don't know about that.
It's not as good by any means as ECB, but I mean, but you're saying what's the standard? Well, shouldn't the standard be one you can just pick up every day at the store?
Like that.
Yeah, but you then start going back into that terrible thing of, well, a couple of years ago you could find this everywhere because no one was buying it. And
I know. Well, the thing is though, like Jim Beam's made damn sure there's enough Knob Creek to go around.
Oh yeah, like we're never running out of Knob Creek. Yeah.
It took when I was into whiskey, but I didn't know the tricks of the trade, if you will. I spent 3 years looking for an Elijah Craig barrel proof before I finally got one.
I was trying to find
I had
this
somebody
photo
hand
for
deliver
you,
it to me.
Dustin.
I had somebody hand deliver it to me.
All right, so
As I was saying, I know someone who'd buy that Makers.
I shouldn't
There
be
you
drinking.
go. They'd
There
buy
we
that
go.
Makers. That's right.
One
Who
of
is that?
my
He looks
brothers
a
from the
little
Bourbon
familiar.
Mafia. He's got just a little bit of a Makers collection.
It looks that way. So like I enjoy the B522, but it's not my favorite by any means. But why not? Let's go some barrel proofs late this night. Yeah. And then we still got Livewire happening, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm just going to say.
I was going to say, well, if you want to know, I'm drinking this right now. So,
Should
draw
I
the
save my
line
barrel
here.
proof comparison for Livewire, Anthony? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, we're going to pop over to Livewire. I want to pop over, visit them a bit, and actually get on their stream for a little bit and support them. So I'm going to
Gotcha.
end it here. But honestly, appreciate everybody here. Dustin, Sean, Chris, thank you for coming on. As always, I
Thank
do
you for having me.
enjoy this part of it. I love it when you guys come on because we cover a broad range of topics, but when it comes down to it,
Indeed.
we talk about what's
Especially when I
important.
come on with a coffee.
You're more than welcome all the time at this time of the morning for you, Chris. I understand that.
Yeah.
Just like
No, well,
Totally fine.
also,
like I'm drinking my coffee
I'd have to
this
go to
morning.
work in 2 hours, so
exactly. They kind of frown on you coming.
Yeah, I hear they like you sober when you come into work. So
yeah, don't know why.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
why.
think it'd be a lot more fun at work.
it's kind of a bullshit rule, but hey, we gotta play along. So
Yeah, but
I
still
tried-
think it'd
I tried
probably
having
be a
fun.
lot more fun at work if I was half cut.
yeah, I was talking to Mike about us just getting drunk and hammered watching Scotch Down Under this morning because we reviewed at his house when I slept over, and he was kind of like, he goes, "You are driving home today, right?" I'm like, "Oh, good call. I probably shouldn't do that then."
Cheers. Honestly, thank you, and make sure you pay attention when I review my Alberta Premium here.
Yeah,
Let you
looking
know how
forward to that
thing
one.
is. So I finally got my cast strength. So
Whoa.
I'll let you know. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. And cheers to everybody in chat on stream. I will see you guys again next week. Cheers. Oh,
Cheers,
there you
Anthony.
go.
Cheers, all.
Cheers.
Cheers.